What's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
Ah, you think so, but it is the C.
That had participation in it. That's a dad joke.
That is a good
back.
That one takes the cake from me, bro. That was a good one.
One.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Squad Pod, episode 62. As always, we appreciate all of your support. So if you're listening in, check out the YouTube channel. Subscribe. If you're watching, like the video. Tell us what you like. We appreciate all of your guys' support. We love doing this. So, but yeah, let's get on into it. So I'm going to start off this week, actually, with kind of a new, I guess you can call it a segment that I want to bring every week. I spend a lot of time on the internet just because I do. And so Reddit is a very conglomerate space of the internet. Like, you can pretty much find anything you want on there. Yeah. So I kind of wanted to, I don't know, to bring some variety every week. I'm going to find a subreddit that I have either discovered, already been looking at, whatever, find a topic from that subreddit and bring it to the podcast every week. So every week I'm going to have my own subtopic of the week because it'll be from a different sub. So I hope you guys are ready for this week because I think I picked one of the best ones for us. Now, most of us are dads. Wyatt is not a dad. However, Wyatt possesses an almost supernatural love for puns. So he seems to love corny jokes.
Yeah, I guess you could say I'm a dad at heart, I guess.
He kind of is. So the subreddit for this week that I'm going to go with is r/dadjokes. So I have a compilation of dad jokes for you guys this week. Man. If you know the answer to if there's a question, some of them are just one-liners. Feel free to butt in if you have a comment, any commentary, whatever. Feel free to butt in whenever you want. But I got a list here of the best ones I found anyway, scouring dad jokes. So obviously all credit goes to the users that came up with these jokes. They are all on r/dadjokes, and most of them are from the top of all time. I figured that would be the best place to find the best jokes. So yeah. The first one I have is actually not from Reddit, but I've actually been holding on to this for like 3 weeks just for this reason. So I actually found it on TikTok, and I don't remember the guy who said it. It was a comedian, and he was like an up and coming comedian. I feel bad that I can't credit him, but whatever. So the first joke I have is, I wouldn't say I'm an anti-masker. I just think Ace Ventura was better.
Oh, that's ridiculous. That's ridiculous. For a second, I'm like, what?
Good one.
But that's ridiculous.
I've been
There's
holding
only
on
like
to
a
that.
small population nowadays that don't even understand that joke.
I know.
But it is a good one.
That'd be hilarious, bro. If you could just go to like an anti-mask rally dressed as Ace Ventura and it's like, Ace Ventura was better.
You're all like a one of them cancel signs through like the mask.
And like, it'll be like the mask from the mask.
Yeah, exactly. Just Ace Ventura, they're like dressed as him with the. Oh my god.
No, that would be so
That'd
good.
Be a sketch.
Oh, but yeah, I was gonna send you guys that TikTok, and I'm like, no, I'm gonna hold on to this. And it was like Friday of like right after the last podcast.
Oh god.
All right. So here's a few more. All right. So what starts with E, ends with E, but only has one letter in it?
I got this.
What is it?
Envelope.
Ah, he's got it. Alex with the dad jokes.
I like that.
Oh man. The first one. Some of these don't have like an answer. Some of them are just like, one-liners.
That was good.
That was good. All right, Alex. He's already got.
I really like that one.
All right.
He's like, envelope next.
It's like, easy. Move on. Give me a harder one. So
I'm sitting here thinking in my head like EYE, like envelope.
all right. So as I handed my dad his 50th birthday card, he looked at me with tears in his eyes and said, one would have been enough.
He had 50 birthday
it
cards.
was Animal 50.
That's ridiculous.
Some of these
That's
are
another
so
ridiculous. Like that's one that like I get mad at, and I like dad jokes too. But like some are like I'm
Vernon don't like
damn it.
dad jokes. 2 out of 3 so far. He's like, no.
No,
that pisses me off.
All right, Vernon. I got one for
Birthday
you.
cards. I'd be pissed. I'd throw them birthday cards away.
All right,
So
Vernon,
why
this
you
one's
give
right
the
up your
birthday
alley,
card?
okay? All right? All right, I'm going to skip ahead here just for you, Vernon. I am Buzz Aldrin, second man to step on the moon. Kneel before me.
That's simple. That's super simple. I don't like it. I like dad jokes that make me think. The ones that make me like the envelope one. That's a damn good one.
Okay.
That's so fast. That's more of a riddle. I guess I prefer riddles over dad
you're
jokes.
more of a riddle person. These aren't riddles. These are supposed to piss you off. Because
I like the Neil
one.
Yeah.
I laughed out loud at that one.
Me.
Kneel before me.
What
What genre are national anthems?
Country.
Country.
Oh.
See, I like that one. That's pretty funny. I like that one.
So
that makes a lot of sense.
So gonorrhea would have been a great name for diarrhea medicine.
I like that one too. That one's fucking great.
That's clever.
That one's great.
Oh,
That's just funny because like you see it coming the whole time. You know what I mean? You're just like, he said it. He actually said it.
All right. Of all the inventions of the last 100 years, the dry erase board has to be the most remarkable.
I'm on the fence with that one.
That's a good one, man. I like that one.
All right.
That's like eye roll. I just want to eye roll at that.
I know.
You know what I mean?
Robert Downey Jr. gif.
Okay. Oh my God. I read most of these to Brittany. I'm still laughing thinking. Okay. This one is my favorite, and it's kind of a long one, but I feel like the payoff is worth it. So a woman was 3 months pregnant. She fell into a deep coma and woke up after about 6 months. The woman asked the doctor about her baby. The doctor said, "You had twins, a boy and a girl. They're both fine, and your brother named them for you." The woman's like, "No, not my brother. He's an idiot. What did he name the girl?" The doctor said, "Denise." "Oh, well, that's actually a nice name. What about the boy?" "The nephew."
That's a good dad joke, man.
Yo.
That's some of the most ridiculous shit I've ever heard in my life. Like that's like Alex's joke about the milkman. The milkman, no, because you were just pulling me along the whole time. I'm in, I'm locked, I'm listening. Then you just pull some bullshit at the end like that.
God.
Like,
I love that
ridiculous.
one. That's funny.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
My wife screamed, "You haven't listened to a single word I've said, have you?" What a weird way to start a conversation.
Oh my God. That's kind of funny.
That's funnier to me because that's some shit I would say too. Like I would totally
Like,
say.
damn,
I have the worst
what do you
selective
mean?
hearing, and that's how like most of our conversations start. It's like,
Yeah.
"Did you hear me? Huh?"
Bruce is always talking to me about how I'm not listening. I'm like, you're right, I'm not.
Oh man. I'm good friends with 25 letters of the alphabet. I don't know why.
That was terrible. That one's terrible.
I had a 5-minute walk. Oh wait, I'm sorry. It's a 5-minute walk to my house and a 45. Oh my God, I'm ruining this. It's a 5-minute walk from my house to the bar, but a 45-minute walk from the bar to my house. The difference is staggering. Okay.
5.
Right.
I'll give you 5.
What's a pirate's favorite letter?
R.
Ah, you think so, but it is the sea.
that participation in it. That's a dad joke.
That is a good
That one takes the cake for me, bro. That was a good one.
Oh, because you're like, no, come on, that's too obvious. Like everyone knows that.
Fucking R.
Ah, no.
R. You think it is, but it's the C.
That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Oh my god, I love these.
Yeah, I'm gonna use that in public.
Oh yeah, see some of these you can use with like your kids because they're so stupid. Like they don't like.
Right, it'll be hilarious to them. You know what I mean? It's so easy to understand.
So,
oh my god,
my wife traumatically ripped the blankets off me last night, but I will recover.
I roll.
Yeah.
All right. The genie asked, "What's your first wish?" Steve replied, "I wish I was rich." The genie nodded and said, "What's your second wish?" Well, Rich exclaimed, "I want lots of money."
Wait. So like I'm confused. That's the motive. Like the motive in the beginning there. Like who was he before he was rich?
It said Steve. I said Steve replied, "I wish I was rich."
I missed that.
Right.
I missed that. Okay. I missed that.
Rich.
Okay,
Rich
Rich
exclaimed, "I want lots of money." All right. So how do non-binary people harm each other?
Careful here, Evan.
I ran this by Cal actually already, so they thought it was funny. So
you can make a joke.
All right. Anyway, so how do non-binary people harm each other? They / them.
Oh my god.
That is a good one.
Jesus.
Oh my god. I got a few more here. So someone asked me to name 2 structures that hold water. I was like, well, damn.
Oh my god. That's not one you could just use. I think that's the thing. I don't like the ones that you can't just use in a public setting smoothly. Like you can't just use that shit.
Okay.
I guess you can. Why not?
Yeah, just
be like, just be doing stuff with each other and just say it. It's so quick. Nobody would interrupt you during that joke. You just say it. Awkward science. Break it with that sentence.
Just go in with it.
Yeah.
I was named after my dad because I couldn't possibly have been named before him.
That's just a dumb kid.
No, man. Again, I could use that in a real world. They could ask me, like, "Oh, where'd your name come from?"
Vernon, you're literally the
yeah.
sequel.
You can say that.
You're literally the sequel.
Yeah, you could say. You could actually say that.
I couldn't be named before.
Yeah. I guess I could.
Yeah, I was named after my dad, but I just before.
I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't. I would be like, yeah, I'm named after my dad. But I'm the sequel. That's what I would say. But
now you're gonna think about.
Now I'm going
named
to.
Before. You're gonna say it one more.
I might. Fuck it. I might.
All right. Here's this. This is just kind of like a regular joke. So, where do you take someone who's been injured in a peekaboo accident? To the ICU.
Oh my god.
Dumb. That one I didn't like.
You didn't like that one. All right. That's all right.
I don't mind it because it makes sense.
It's like that was more of like a regular because it makes sense.
In all contexts, it makes sense.
Oh my god.
So I've recently discovered I'm terrified of elevators, so I'm taking steps to avoid them. I was a little afraid of speed bumps too, but I'm slowly getting over them.
Ridiculous.
All right. I think that's about it.
That was good though. I like that. That was a good one to end on.
Oh, there is okay. There is one more, but if you think that was a good one to end on,
give it to us. What is it? If you think it's worthy.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just got this awful disease where I can't stop telling airport jokes. The doctor says it's terminal.
I would throw that guy.
Good night, everybody.
Like
drop.
Oh my god!
Get yanked off with the cane.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my god! Yeah, I think that was about it. There were a couple I skipped that some as I'm looking.
Before we move on, do you have a favorite dad joke? Like one that gets you?
The one, it's kind of similar to the one that was on this list, and I heard it from can't remember his name. He was the woodshop teacher. You would know him. He was like the older guy that pretty much let everyone do whatever they wanted.
Yeah, I know who you're talking
Doesn't
about.
matter.
But it was something like the fish hit a brick wall, and what did he say? Damn. Like, it was so stupid when I heard it. And I'm just like...
My favorite dad joke, and it's because it's like peak asshole dad, because like dad jokes kind of like being dicks to their kids too, you know? I love when kids say something and the dad says, "Hey, hungry? I'm dad."
Yeah.
That's my favorite. Like, you asshole.
See, when I was looking at
can I do this? I don't know. Can you?
There were a couple like not safe for
hate
work
when
ones.
Teachers say that shit.
And I'm just like, I feel like the point of a dad joke is that they are like innocent jokes. Like, they're not supposed to be like raunchy. Like, I mean, I guess you can, but you know, the point of a dad joke is to be like your kids are saying something, or you know, you're in a public setting and you just say something so stupid, it's so funny.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It always, if you can't get a good finger gun,
if you can finger gun to it,
if your kid doesn't hate you after you say it, you didn't do it right. You know, like.
If
kid
Vernon
should want
doesn't
nothing to do
scowl
with you
after you say
he
it,
should
it's not
walk
a dad
away
joke.
from you.
If I don't roll my eyes,
dad jokes weren't invented to make your kids laugh. It was invented to make your kids leave. Like, get the hell out.
Embarrass them.
I don't know where it came from, but I always like the rectum. Damn near killed him.
Damn near killed him.
Fucking ridiculous. Some of the shit people say, man. And
you don't have a
like,
favorite
just
one,
everyday
Vernon?
conversation.
Yeah. I have a coworker of mine. He's like a 68-year-old man, and like that's why he uses those kind of jokes. All like I've been talking to this guy for 7 years of my life now, and like I hear a lot of the same ones, but man, I still hear new ones sometimes, and I'm just like, how do you have this?
I see him on Twitter, like especially during sports, like NFL. They'll be like, the Patriots waved someone, and then you'll see like the first comment is, well, "Did they wave back?"
Oh my god!
Oh, I saw the meanest sports joke, and it's so dark, and I don't really know if I want to tell it, but it was.
You could message it to us if you want.
It's fine. I mean, I did laugh. I feel guilty about it, but like, it was back in like whenever the Steelers played the Raiders and Henry Ruggs had that huge touchdown, they posted a tweet that said "Steve kills Henry Ruggs," and then there was like, "This did not age well," and I was just I was like, oh,
I actually saw that too,
That's
Alex,
crazy.
with that same caption.
Yeah,
It was like, did not age well.
I was like, no. Who was ballsy enough to put that out there? Just like saw it and was like, I was like, no.
Raiders since deleted the tweet. Like, we gotta go back and find that shit. Get that off here.
Oh man,
terrible.
Anyway.
But yeah, let's get into the main segment for the night.
Yes.
We pretty much Alex has shown you a ton of movies. That is because we have all gathered up our favorite movies of all time. We're not necessarily talking about the best movies of all time. We're talking about our personal favorite movies of all time. Movies you could just watch anytime, you know, all day if you have to, on like Desert Island type movies. But I think Vernon has 8. We set around between 5 to 10.
No, I added 2 more. I thought about 2 more.
Okay, so we all have 10.
Good.
Okay,
go.
So we can kind of just start. I don't have mine in no particular order. I do know which ones are mine are like the top. So I mean, I was just kind of go down below, but we can start off with whatever, kind of go back and forth.
Yeah, I figured we do like kind of like a round table, like our bottom of the list to the top of the list. Like
mine are in no order. I mean,
Does
I'll do it.
Anybody have any honorable mentions before we start?
Yeah,
I have 2 honorable mentions.
I just recounted my list and I have 11.
Well,
so
yeah,
I was wrong.
Movies I can
I
put
have 11 actually.
I mean, anybody can go first if you have honorable mentions.
They're not really I mean, I don't know. So what I did was I just started writing movies down, and then like as I was trying to formulate my list, I started crossing them off. I did have both Hereditary and Midsommar on there. And I know that sounds weird.
Ballsy.
I liked them, and I know I just watched them. I just watched Midsommar for the first time, but
they got crossed off, right?
I did cross them off.
Because if your sentence starts off with a movie, I liked them, they ain't top 10 movies.
I actually really enjoyed the story to Midsommar, and I know it's a fucked up movie, but I was instantly drawn into the movie. Hereditary was just like freaked me out than
I debated
actually.
putting Hereditary in my top 10, but I couldn't. I
Yeah.
couldn't do it.
Oh,
It's
But
what's
yeah.
cool about Midsummer though. Since you just watched it, you notice that like they spoil the whole movie for you whenever they show that huge tapestry.
Oh yeah, and you know what? I
shows
figured
the whole course of the movie and that tapestry at the
I
beginning.
figured they weren't just showing that for no reason. So me and Brittany were actually like trying to remember, like, okay, what happens next? Like, like what could we remember from that? And of course we forgot.
that's
most of it.
crazy. I didn't realize that. I've only seen it once too, so I want to
Well,
watch
yeah,
it again.
'cause, like-
yeah, just like Hereditary, man. If you watch it another time, you're gonna notice some shit that you didn't notice the first time. They have hidden stuff.
Yeah, like pretty much the whole thing, like with how like the girl, like tells the guy that she wants to mate with him or something. Like that's all spelled out, and like it happens like verbatim throughout the whole movie.
Yeah,
Like,
it's a wild movie, man.
yeah, dude. Yeah, it's messed
Now,
up. But
Speaking on the same subject, it's not an honorable mention to me, but a movie that I recently watched that I liked a lot, and I think it might creep up there as I watch it more and more. I just watched a movie called Brawl in Cell Block 99. It's with Vince Vaughn and stuff. Highly suggested.
I remember hearing about it. I've never seen it though.
Highly suggested. It was awesome. I know I've only seen it once. It cannot crack a top 10. It's not even an honorable mention. Maybe I'll hate it the 15th time I've seen it, but I'm
Yeah.
excited to watch it again. So just because you were saying about movies you just watched. But anyways, honorable mentions.
Bird?
Honorable mention for me was Nightmare Before Christmas
ooh,
because
Ooh,
I
okay.
love that movie, and it was hard to not put it in my top 10. But like if I got, because like I said, I wrote down 11 here, so that's the one I'm going to make my honorable mention.
Yeah.
It just got squeaked out a little bit, but I love singing the songs, annoying my kids. You know what I mean? Just like
I love that movie.
I love that. Like they don't even Kyrie doesn't like watching the movie with me because I'm singing the songs the whole time. You know, so like that's definitely one of my favorite movies of all time. But I'm gonna just say it's an honorable mention there because I don't watch it
yesterday.
Right. Like, and all of these movies I don't watch too often because I'm always looking for some new stuff here.
Yeah.
Especially with all the streaming things we have nowadays. But like, these are all movies that I could watch at any fucking time, you know. And Nightmare Before Christmas is definitely one of them.
Nice. I have two on my honorable mention list. The first one, I got Django Unchained, man. I fucking love Django Unchained. That's probably my favorite Tarantino movie.
But I did it.
But I could watch that movie anytime. Just the story and it's great. The chemistry with like Jamie Foxx and Christoph Waltz. Christoph Waltz is a badass in this movie.
He's a great actor.
Great actor. I mean, you saw that even in Inglourious Bastards as well, when he's playing like the Nazi general.
Yeah.
Right.
But yeah, in Django, it's amazing. Leonardo DiCaprio, like, has a great performance in that movie as well. Samuel L. Jackson's in it. But overall, it's a long movie, but it's a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
And the other one I have here is Rear Window with Johnny Depp. I love that movie, man. It has him and what's the other dude's name? It's the one dude that was in Oh Brother, Where Art Thou? Like George Clooney, and he's in like Big Lebowski. But it's about like Johnny Depp is a writer, kind of like Stephen King, and he lives in like this cabin out by himself. And then one day, like John Turturro, that's his name, shows up and says like, "You stole my story." And he's like, "I didn't steal your story. I don't know what you're talking about." And then some shit, like it just goes off from there because it has to deal with like his ex-wife and some crazy shit starts happening. This dude starts stalking him. And like
called Secret Window?
Secret Window, not Real.
Yeah.
Rear Window is like Alfred Hitchcock movie. Sorry.
Yeah, that's why I was
Secret
like...
Window. My bad. Secret Window.
Yeah, all right.
That's why it's not my top 10. I can't remember.
I have seen that because I was like, what? I know this movie.
Yeah, Secret Window though. Great movie though. I watched that one pretty frequently.
Yeah.
But yeah, we can get rolling into our actual top 10s here. I don't know who wants to start off with the list.
I'll go first.
Or Alex?
I'll go first. And we're kind of rotating. Again, mine are in no particular order. I'm not even doing like top 5, bottom 5. Just going to pick them out. One that you guys all know is one of my favorites. I'll just get out of the way. Clueless. Fucking love Clueless. I think it's one of the, like, it's one of those movies that I can watch at any time with anybody because it's pretty innocent, you know, like it's not too bad. It's instantly quotable for me. I quote Clueless all the time. It's just like one of my favorite chick flicks, you know, like if I have to choose a chick flick, that's my chick flick I'm choosing, you know?
Okay.
Yeah.
Love Clueless. It's hilarious.
Interesting.
Have you all seen Clueless?
I've only seen it maybe a couple times on TV, you know, when I was younger, you know, when it's playing.
Like
because it used to play all the time.
Like I can't.
You haven't seen it? You gotta watch
all the time.
The best.
Yeah, you should definitely watch it.
The best scene in it is when she says, "You're a virgin who can't drive." It doesn't make sense me just saying it, but it just cracks me up every time. I would be interested too when we go around if we've all seen them and if we recommend them if you have seen them.
I probably have
recommend
not
this
seen
movie.
most of them.
Yeah,
We'll get
you
that out of the
especially.
way.
You got to
But-
write these down, Evan.
Yeah.
I could just listen.
I would
to the
recommend it though.
podcast.
It's a good movie.
He's like, I'll put it on the list.
Yeah.
Movies
what you
Evan
got?
needs to watch. Like, just put that on your wall there, Vernon. You'll need a new
Yeah,
wall.
for real. I'm gonna need a bunch of fucking sticky pads,
Much
you
bigger
know?
board.
Yeah, you
But,
are gonna need a much bigger board.
I just make a sticky pad. I jot down a note, I'm like take it off, put it on the wall, you know. But like anyway, I'll go ahead and just name off like one of them. We're just gonna do one at a time here.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. So one of my favorite movies from whenever I was younger is Men in Black, the first one.
Okay.
Oh
like,
man, I didn't even
very
think about putting
first
that on the
one.
list.
I fucking loved it. Even if you watch it nowadays and it's kind of aged, you know what I mean? Especially with some of the.
I don't think it really has, man.
I think it's
just
aged the
some of the-
best.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, just with some of the CGI and stuff, you could be like,
Yeah.
okay,
Yeah.
it just kind of looks a little cheesy to nowadays, but I still fucking love that movie. Will Smith's hilarious in it. One of my favorite like moments in cinema is that one where like he's sitting on the bench with him, and he says
Oh,
something
yeah.
about like the people in the masses. You know what I mean? People are dumb or something. I forget
Yeah.
how he said it, but like I love that moment, man. Like so, Men in Black's definitely one of my favorite movies.
I would
Yeah,
agree.
because he's like, I remember too, because as he's walking away, he's like, "Is it worth it?" He's like, "It's worth it," and he's like, "If you're strong enough," or something like
Strong
that.
enough.
Yeah, or something like that. Is I remember that scene, but that movie's fucking great. Me and
That
Annette
movie
recently
is
watched
good.
that like a couple months ago, and it still holds up, man. Like it's a great fucking movie. Will Smith in is hilarious. Tommy Lee Jones, he plays it so straight, and that's the best part is because he's so funny because he plays it so straight.
And he's such opposite of Will at that
Yeah.
point, you know.
Yeah.
So it's so perfect, bro.
It is great.
I love
that movie.
Hmm.
Evan.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'll go, and then we can just like on the podcast it'll be like a circle going around. So it's just aesthetically pleasing. So I actually switched my list up right before because you guys were mentioning to look at the movies you actually owned. So because I didn't even do that. But yeah, so I was actually debating on putting this on, and as I was thinking about it, I'm like, you know what, I'm gonna put some of these actually on. The first one I'm gonna say at the bottom of this, I'm gonna say it's probably my favorite Jim Carrey movie, and to kind of go off of like what we were talking about earlier. But I'm actually gonna go with Bruce Almighty on that.
Okay.
Oh shit!
I feel like if I had
Okay.
to pick one, and I watched it so much as a kid. But,
Yeah.
like obviously now, like as I'm older, I feel like just the idea of giving a human being omnipotence, that's just what would happen. Like, you know, the first thing you would do is just be like, I'm getting a new
wild.
car. Goodbye, traffic. I'm gonna put a monkey up some guy's butt. You know, like those kinds of things.
I
I-
still spell beautiful because of that movie. The
Ah,
way I spell
yeah.
beautiful, E-A,
Beautiful.
beautiful. I
That's
still spell
ex-
beautiful
to this day.
to this day. If
I
I,
mean,
spell it right
that's
now,
how I know how
I
to
would
spell
write.
it.
I would think.
Yeah,
I
it-
agree with you. I do the same thing. That plays in my head every single time.
It's just I don't know. I feel like I feel like it's one of the best Jim Carrey movies, and plus it has freaking what's his name in it, Steve Carell in it.
Yeah, and Jennifer
I
Aniston.
also
It's-
have a
it has
Steve
some
Carey
heart
movie.
too. It's not just a straight comedy the whole way through.
Mm, no.
Hey, it's got tear jerking moments there towards the
Yeah,
end.
Morgan Freeman's
like when he-
God. Like, what more could
I
you
like when he
ask for?
pulls the
Like-
moon in. That shit's
Yeah,
cool.
like
shit.
us,
He like
yeah.
pulls
Yeah.
the moon in to impress
Ties
that
it.
girl. Like,
Like, if I could pick
Jim
any
Carrey's
character
awesome.
to be God, it would probably be Morgan Freeman. Like,
Oh
Yeah.
I don't think
And
they
he
could have
might
cast that
be
any
God.
better. Like,
He might be God. I
he
don't know.
probably
How
is,
old this
honestly.
guy?
If there is a God, it's
I
Morgan
thought he
Freeman.
was like
all right.
70 back when they did Shawshank Redemption.
Yeah.
How old is this dude?
He was like 20.
he just looks the same.
Less Morgan Freeman.
He's looked old for
Oh.
40 years.
Yeah.
Crazy.
All right, but that's
Um,
fun.
Yeah, so what I got here, we actually recently just watched the Evil Dead 2, man. I got that in my
Hell
top
yeah.
10. Evil
Great
Dead 2,
film.
that's in my top 10 favorite of all time. Great movie. It's outrageous. It's like a bad acid trip.
So
Uh,
outrageous.
If you want to see more on it, definitely go watch our Evil Dead trilogy review for Cinema Trip Reviews. But we'll kind of leave it at that. It's a great fucking movie. It's outrageous. Bruce Campbell's great in it. He's hamming it up.
Have you seen it, Evan?
No, I think I've told you this. I've not seen the Evil Dead trilogy, so
Ooh.
No.
Gotta watch it now, man, because man, I'm so glad they had me watch that shit. Like when I think about the second movie, all I could think about is wasn't that the one with the deer head?
Yeah.
And like that scene, bro, and I'm like, I remember looking at you, I was like, what the is going on right now? That's a
like
good movie.
Exactly the expression like Bruce Campbell has at that moment. He's like, what the fuck? He's looking up at this deer head just laughing and like maniacally. And then like the lamps and stuff start moving and the books start like fluttering. It's crazy. It's like a bad acid trip. Go watch the review on it to learn some more. But great movie.
I guess that's me. I'm gonna get my cheating one out of the way a little bit. I cheated here a bit.
Okay.
Because it's kind of two movies.
That's
when
fine.
I was first off, I wanted to preface this all with this list would change if you would ask me in 2 days. I'd probably have another
I was
10
literally
movies.
thinking about that like 10 minutes ago.
But when I was making this, I was trying to think of genres, and I just didn't want to like overload it with like one genre. I was trying to think of what I watch when I'm in the mood for a certain genre. So my next one is when I'm in the mood for a love movie and like a love story. I'm either picking Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind, which is my Jim Carrey movie, or 10 Things I Hate About You. And I will they're not even close to like plot wise, but I will interchange.
It's so crazy.
Interchange those movies.
Most of us are going to have a different Jim Carrey movie on our list. That's crazy.
Oh yeah. So I think
Vern's
Eternal
like, no.
Sunshine.
That's what I said. Most of us.
Yeah.
I didn't know if Vern did or not.
I think Eternal Sunshine though is just like such a unique.
Oh, it's so good.
It's such a unique love story. Now, has anybody other than Wyatt seen it?
No.
It's basically, and I'll just run through real quick. It's basically about two people, they're dating, Jim Carrey and this other girl, and then
chick from Titanic.
Yep, chick from Titanic, and they break up.
I may have seen clips of this. I might not have seen the whole thing, but I think
it's pretty famous. And Vernon's gonna know a scene, which I'll tell you which scene Vernon knows. But they break up, and then they're erasing their memory so they don't remember each other.
I know what you're gonna say. It's from a Mac Miller
they
song.
like hire a company. Like Jim
Miller
Carrey
song.
hires I guess they both do it, but they get a company to erase the memory of the other person because they just don't want to go through this breakup now. Like it's too painful.
But as it's doing it, Jim Carrey's like, no, I want this memory. Like, don't take this one from me. Like they're getting rid of the bad ones at first, and he's like, fuck that. But then like they start taking away good memories of her, and he's like, I don't want this to go. I
love the movie. I love it so much, but I don't watch it much because I know I'm gonna cry if I watch it.
Oh, that's what I love.
Every single time I'm gonna cry if I watch Eternal Sunshine Spotless Mind. Every time you're gonna cry.
That's why this is my cry movies. But Vernon knows the Mac Miller song. If I could, I'm happy if I would die right now in this moment. I'd be completely and utterly happy because it's the end of a Mac Miller song.
It's on Macadelic, on somewhere on Macadelic.
Great movie. I highly suggest it. 10 Things I Hate About You is another one. It makes me tear up. It's about Heath Ledger and Julia Stiles.
I think Julia Stiles.
I always tear up when she reads the poem, and like basically the poem is like she's like, I hate the way you walk, I hate the way you look, I hate the way you do this, and she's like just bashing on this guy, and she starts crying, and she's like, but most of all, I hate you how I don't hate you at all, and like she's saying that she really just loves him, but like it frustrates her so much, but she loves him, and it gets me every time. It gets me. I'm just like, I get it, like up in there.
I'm not crying.
I'm not crying. You're crying. It's a great movie. A little less. And Turo might edge it out a little bit, but I am a sucker for 10 Things I Hate About You.
Yeah.
All right, Vernon.
Okay.
What's next?
I'm gonna go with what we consider not a classic movie, but it's definitely before our time, even though it's very, very popular.
Mm-hmm.
Raiders of the Lost Ark. That's one of my fucking favorite. Not only
I missed that, man, but I wanted that. I was like, I didn't put it on though. Great movie.
Like, I fucking everything about that movie, man. Like, I love the whole plot. And Indiana Jones is just badass in it the whole time. And then you see, like, I like how he's got that whole Batman Bruce Wayne thing going on.
Yeah.
Like that shit
For like
is
a second,
hilarious.
though.
The college
It is only
professor.
for a second, but like the fact that it's even in the movie, it's just I know that's Indiana Jones. Like it's just funny as shit to me. I could watch that at any
He's so
point.
suave.
And it has
dude.
like the most one of the most iconic scenes of all time that's been parodied so many times of the boulder, just
Mhm.
chasing
Yep.
him. And then
Yep.
he's running from the the tribe. get the plane ready.
I fucking
Then
love
there's
it, man.
of course the snakes there in
Not
the
only
plane.
a great movie, great trilogy. Like the three of them are that's the best one for sure. But that is
Yeah.
such a great trilogy. You know,
That's my favorite. That's definitely my favorite. That's the second one, right?
first
one.
That's the first one.
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. I
Yeah,
wasn't.
it's
When I
fantastic.
was making this, I couldn't remember. I was too lazy to Google it, but I was like, I don't remember if that's the first or the second one. But it is what it is. That shit is
Evan.
amazing.
Please
Great
don't tell me you've never seen that.
I haven't.
Oh my god,
Dude,
Evan.
I just assume I have not seen it. I have.
It's classic.
Dude, my parents did not have any movies. Like I kid
Oh.
you not. Like we had no movies growing up. And I
Not
don't
my
have the time to
parents. My
watch them
parents
now.
Shoved everything down my throat. Like I love it, you love it.
Well, as your
Okay.
kids are getting older, you
I
can
do love
actually
it.
watch like Star
Yeah, man.
Wars.
You're
with
30.
Well, I do-
You're
Indiana
almost
Jones.
30 years old.
I
you can
do
watch
plan
movies.
on watching Star Wars. All right. And I have
Indiana
seen the
Jones
original
might
trilogy.
be easier to swallow, to be honest. With you, 'cause
Yeah.
there's only 3 of them. Like Star
Yeah.
Wars, there's 9 of them. It's a whole thing.
Yeah, but I want to.
Indiana
I've
Jones is
seen
quick
the
and easy.
original trilogy. I just have.
I
don't
love how
remember much about
We're
it.
just talking about like there's only 3 of them. We got
Yeah, no. You don't got to go to the 4th.
there's only
Fourth
3
is
of
fine.
them. Don't
You know, that
like,
is funny.
I don't care what
'cause
you
even-
heard. But there's
Even when
only
you
3 of
said that just now, I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, there's
What do
only
you
3 of them.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
Use the fourth one. Terrible.
them.
That's
Yeah, we
so
don't talk
funny,
about the
dude.
4th one.
Yeah, we
I
don't
don't.
talk about
I don't
that.
even know about this 5th one yet, but we'll see
Yeah.
how that
We'll
goes.
see if it even finishes with all the shit that's going
Yeah,
on.
it's
That's
all the
besides
shit.
the point.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Evan.
But yeah, where was I on my list? Because I don't have these. I don't have my bottom 3 written down
Just
anymore.
cross
Something
them out.
else. Yeah, I
Yeah,
crossed
so-
out these. These aren't on here anymore. I will just say real quick, one of my other honorable mentions I was gonna put on was Lords of Dogtown, but
Oh,
Oh
okay.
hell
Yeah.
yeah!
it's a really good
That
movie.
was the one and only movie I owned on PSP. Just random fact there. That I own that shit on PSP.
But yeah, I cut that out. I am gonna say, and this is part of the I forget his name, the director. You'll know as soon as I say a 40-year-old virgin. I forget
Oh yeah.
he has like a
Who's
bunch
that
of
works with Seth Rogen.
yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah,
like I
what's
just
her
feel
name,
like
dude?
Evan something. Isn't it Evan? Isn't it his name?
no.
I don't know. Doesn't matter. 40-year-old.
Doesn't
virgin.
matter.
He like
Steve
that whole
Carell.
like like Knocked Up, Pineapple Express, like all that.
Judd Apatow.
Yeah,
yeah.
Judd Apatow. I just feel like I don't know. I love that movie. I mean, I love Steve Carell, but I feel like that movie has like the cast that I don't know. I just feel like they just all hit. And it's just so
They
funny.
all
Oh yeah.
exploded in the next 10 years.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
lot.
Paul Rudd, Seth Rogen.
yeah. That's what I'm saying. Like
Craig Robinson.
Yeah.
it's
True.
just-
Yeah.
It's that
all
group.
of them.
the
Yeah.
first.
Even
one of
Kevin Hart's in
those-
that movie for like 20 seconds.
Wait, what's that?
Kevin
Kevin
Hart's in
Hart's
that
in it.
movie for
Yeah.
like 20 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's the best one of that. I was thinking I do love Knocked Up. Knocked Up is a good movie.
It
But
is. 40-year-old virgin's funnier though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I was
for
just
and then
gonna
you
say, like,
had,
if I had to pick between one of them, it would probably be.
40-year-old, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
I like super bad more.
I
than
was
both
I
of
was
them.
just thinking Super Bad, but
I don't know. I think I
Superbad's
would go
more
with 3-year-old
quotable.
virgin. That movie's hilarious.
Well, let's just say
I
I've
think I
seen
would do
Superbad
Superbad.
more.
I think I'd
I've
do
s-
Superbad too.
I've seen that more than I love 40-year-old version. I've seen that probably a good like handful of times, but like I've seen
Yeah.
Superbad probably like 10, 15 times. Like, you know what I mean? Just throughout the years, being a little kid, loving that shit.
Yeah,
It was
it
like,
is a
oh,
good
it's so
movie.
bad. Like,
I love conversational humor, and Superbad hits the conversational humor a lot
Oh
more.
yeah, for sure.
Superbad doesn't stop with it. Like it
Yeah,
is just like
Yeah, that's the whole
joke
movie.
after joke after joke.
But
one
it's
of my
not.
favorite parts of that shit. I know we're not talking about this movie, just kind of popped up, but like
Yeah.
that they're at the party and the door knocks. It's like, oh no, it's the cops. Like when they open the door and he's just standing there. He's like, oh no, it's the cops. Like, that shit is so funny.
Jimmy's little brother. Send me a song, Jimmy.
Yeah. Oh my god.
Anyways,
Superbad-
but 40-year-old
Superbad
virgin is
is
good.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
I would not though. I mean, we all seen it, but I wouldn't. It would I would knock it down, but it's your list.
Yeah.
Wyatt?
My next one is my Jim Carrey movie on my list, and it's Dumb and Dumber, man. One of my favorite movies of all time. I fucking love Dumb and Dumber. This is one of those movies. Since I was a kid, I probably know the whole movie by heart. Like, I could say it, like all the lines going through the whole movie. That's how much I know it. It's just a classic, and no matter how many times I watch it, I laugh like out loud just because of how silly and ridiculous it is. And somehow Jeff Daniels is like matches perfectly with Jim Carrey, even though he's a whole different kind of actor. He's like keeping up with Jim Carrey this whole movie.
No, it's hilarious.
Yeah,
The energy of that movie, like once they hit the road, is just get like super. It's non-stop, just like joke after joke after joke after joke, and it's all kinds of different humor. It's like slapstick humor, it's conversational humor, it's like dad jokes, or he's like pull over cardigan, but thanks for noticing. Like,
it's cardigan, but thanks for noticing.
Like, it's just hitting on all cylinders, dude.
Yeah, and that's like just like that is. It's so quotable. That whole movie, there's so many parts of it that's so quotable. Just like all like, comedies growing up, like Superbad or Step Brothers, those types of movies or Talladega Nights was another one where they're so quotable growing. Like Dumb and Dumber, that's one of the ones that like started it all for me. And like that's just one I watch every year. I watch it at some point. It's a great movie, man.
I still can't believe I had a stack of 20 pictures of him on the toilet at Amazon. I cannot believe that there was like a stack of 20 canvas prints that were like this big.
See, I was gonna bring that up. My knock against those, and great movies, all those, but I don't like gross humor. And both, like, I don't like the toilet scene. I don't like in Superbad when she gets the period blood on him. I'm like, it's just not funny to me.
I mean, and Dumb, he also like that cop that pulls him over, drinks the pee in the bottle too. He thinks he's drinking. He's like, "Oh, you're sipping back old Grandpa's cough syrup there."
Yeah,
he's like, "Give me that if you know it's good for you." And he starts chugging.
I've just never liked gross humor, so those would just be like my detractors. Like if I was like Roger and E. Derp, I'd be like, no, like
so you're not down with the
opinion.
waxing scene on 40-Year-Old Virgin.
See, that's not gross though. That's just funny. For 40-Year-Old Virgin, it would be. Is there a gross humor in 40-Year-Old Virgin? I don't think so.
It's been a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, the part where she throws up on him.
Oh yeah, something like that. I wouldn't think was funny.
Yeah, I totally forgot about that.
In the car,
in the
car.
all over him, man.
Gross.
Yeah,
it's gross.
Oh, and then he kisses her. He just like goes in and kisses her.
Gross.
Yeah, that's so gross.
Gross.
But like one of my like just one of the scenes is hilarious. Whenever he comes back on that little fucking moped that he trades the van for, and he's like, "Just when I thought you couldn't be any dumber, you can go and do something like this and totally redeem yourself." Oh my god!
They pull up and the fans
frozen to his back. And then they get the briefcase full of money and they just like go to town. He's wearing those huge like furry ass boots. Go, like, here you go. Like classic, bro. Jim Carrey like at his peak. Like in that 2-year span, he came out with The Mask, Ace Ventura, and Dumb and Dumber, bro. And then Liar Liar, which is even crazier, man. Like
Liar Liar is my favorite Jim Carrey.
Oh yeah, it's fantastic. But he had such a run there in like the late 90s. But anyway, we can move on here.
Funny movie. My turn?
Yeah.
Let's see. I'll go for another obvious one here. I've talked about it before. The Thing is my favorite horror movie of all time.
Thought about putting it on my list.
It's not even like the movie is good. It's just so suspenseful. Like you just are like following these people and you're like shit. Because I've watched it with Marissa and she's like, it's boring. Nothing's going on. But until something does, and I'm like, it's the suspense that you're building up.
It's the atmosphere.
And not only. This is one of those movies, not only do I love the movie, I love all the behind the scenes shit of it. I love how they created these creatures and all the practical effects. Like this movie, like how they got it done was crazy. Like it's almost as interesting to watch how it was done than to actually watch how it was like the finished product. So I love The Thing. Some of my favorite practical effects of all time. Great.
Same here, man. It's definitely in my top 5 favorite horror movies of all time.
Oh yeah.
As for the time, that it was like the early '80s. The effects in it are amazing. Like the
Amazing.
practical effects.
People
It's amazing.
they understate because we see things like that all the time now, but like back then it did not exist like that. It's like what Jurassic Park did. Like when you saw Jurassic Park, you're like, holy shit, you know, like that's a dinosaur, you know.
And that score with it, it's nothing crazy. But it's perfect for the atmosphere. Like, it's claustrophobic. It's kind of like a heartbeat, like the whole time. It's like dum, dum. Like it's so low,
Heartbeats
and it's
get me
nothing
in the
crazy.
face.
But like, man, like that, like just the music that's with it, the Carpenter synth and everything. It's amazing, man.
It's
like
cold too. They're in Antarctica, and I think that's another reason it gets to my fear is because I don't like the cold. So like if I was in a bad situation, I do not want to be in a cold bad situation.
Yeah,
you know?
trapped.
Like put me in Camp Crystal Lake with Jason. At least it's nice out and I can run around.
At least
like,
it's
I'm fine with it.
summertime.
Yeah, like fuck being cold and doing it. You know?
And then it got Kurt Russell in it too.
And
Kurt Russell,
awesome
fucking
Kurt
amazing.
Russell. Awesome Kurt Russell.
Awesome Kurt Russell.
Yeah.
He's like, I don't trust any one of you.
Some of the most badass Kurt Russell. You're just like, damn, badass.
Yeah.
Now I know why I'd seen it. I'm guessing you two haven't.
No, I haven't seen it.
I watched the thing. Throw it
We're
on the
gonna have
list.
to review that. Maybe December we can review that.
Yeah, because snow.
Yeah, because of the snow.
Because snow.
Because of snow.
Snow.
It's cold.
All right,
Vern?
Vernon.
Okay, my next one. This is gonna be one that it's just the genre I like, and it's not gonna be what you think. Okay, I saw you smiling, Evan. It's not gonna be what you think.
I mean, you can guarantee I haven't seen it, but I feel like I know what's coming.
No, I don't think
Interstellar.
you do. Yeah, Interstellar's dope.
That movie's
Interstellar?
fucking awesome.
okay.
It is great.
I
That is a great
love
movie.
the way they play with time travel, and it's not really time travel. It's more like time dilation in a way. You know what I mean? But like, I fucking love that.
I could
movie,
see
man.
that. I would
Everything
watch
about
that movie and be like, "This is one of Vernon's favorite movies."
Yeah,
And I'm-
that's what I'm saying. That whole scene when they're on the planet with the giant wave, you know what I mean? And like from the moment they step on the planet, the clock, like you guys were saying with the score, the clock and the world, the sound in the background, the music's just like tick, tick,
Yeah.
tick, tick, and like every time you hear it, it's like a day on Earth. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? So
yeah.
like by the time you're done, it's so like it's crazy, man. Because like you said, kind of the behind the scenes things. I've seen some stuff on that, and that's supposed to like more or less like replicate a day on Earth passing, and they're just taking steps, and it's taken already 4 or 5 times, and they're that's just the difference because of the black holes, gravity, and all. I love when they start trying to explain that shit. You know what I mean?
Doing their best.
It's just exactly doing their best to explain it, and I'm just like eating that shit up.
Vernon just wants Neil deGrasse Tyson just sitting beside him, explaining everything. throughout the
Bro, I
Explaining
was
this
watching
movie.
Cosmos today. Don't fuck with me. I was literally watching Cosmos today.
Speaking of Christopher Nolan, I was close to putting Inception on my list because I do love Inception, and it kind of does a similar thing with like the score in a way too, as well.
Right.
With the time being like in the dreams, within a dream.
Exactly.
Great movie though. But yeah, Interstellar is great, man. I definitely recommend that one.
Oh yeah.
That one can also be a tearjerker though too.
I was just thinking about that. That first time I saw that movie, that part where he's rewatching all the memories, like got me, bro. I was like, damn, what the fuck? Like, imagine that. Just imagine that feeling.
Evan, again, have you seen it?
No, but I know a lot about the plot because I think either you guys have talked about it a lot or I've heard about it a lot. So I know of it, but I don't.
So you've at least seen 25% of these movies. Do you think you're gonna hit the 30-ish%?
No. I'm surprised I'm at 25. I'm surprised I'm at. You know what? The 25% of the movies I've watched.
That's why I said 25%. I was like, those are your movies.
I didn't even realize that when you said that. That's funny.
I think he's seen at least 2 more that's on my list.
Definitely seen. I've seen Dumb and Dumber.
All right.
Well, other than that, I think you've seen 2 other ones that I have on my list.
I think there's a couple on my list he might have seen.
It's not like I haven't seen movies. It's just.
I would just like to take an over-under right now. Over-under 30% of the movies we've seen.
That means I would need to see
30, yeah.
Including
I'm gonna say
mine?
under. Including yours.
What the
Yeah, so you
Including
have to
we're-
watch 5% of our combined.
Yeah,
75.
like 6 more, like basically 6 more.
Why don't we just measure
movies.
that then? Like, let's do. So 30 movies. I need to have seen at least how many? Who knows math?
Not me.
Not me, man. Not right now.
What's 75% of that?
75%, 25% of 40 is 10. So
Well, you just
So I need to
confused
see
me now.
8
Alright.
movies. Let's round up. Let's give me the benefit of the doubt here.
8 movies. Let's find out. All right, I'm gonna write that down.
7 and a
and
half.
You've seen one already.
7 and a
You've
half
seen
is
one
the real
already.
number. So if I've seen half
so
of
8.
one, I'm counting this.
And you've seen Dumb and Dumber.
I've seen Dumb and Dumber. What was
So
that? What else
we're-
was there?
Men in
Dumb and
Black.
Dumber. Men in Black.
That's one I haven't sat through and watched it, but I know
Oh
a lot
my
about it and
God.
I've seen it, but I'm not counting that.
Clueless, you haven't.
I haven't
Eternal
seen Clueless.
Sunshine, you haven't.
No.
10 Things.
That's again, I may have seen that, but I don't
We're not counting.
want to
10
count it. No, I'm not going to
And
be confident.
the
in it.
Thing. So one movie so far.
Yeah, we're on
So
track.
you got 7 more to go.
We're on track.
But it is your turn, Evan.
It is Evan's turn, though.
This is okay. Like I said, we didn't watch that many movies as a kid, and to be fair, I was actually just telling Brittany about this. When I have free time, I would much rather be doing something than sitting and watching something. Like that's the same with TV. If I have to choose between like playing a game, drawing, doing whatever, I'm gonna pick that over watching a movie. Like that's just how I am. So I like movies and shows, but anyway, moving on. My next one, and this I'm counting it, but it's technically a TV movie, but it is considered a movie. It's actually El Camino, the Breaking Bad movie.
Oh, okay.
shit.
Yes.
I haven't seen that.
Have you guys seen that?
No.
I have not.
I was literally just like, before you did that. I was
Yeah.
gonna say, what's the over under that me and Wyatt have seen all of these movies?
No,
but
I got
you already
one.
broke that.
I got one that you
I've
and
seen
you
it.
haven't seen. I got
I
one.
haven't seen it. I have not seen it. I didn't finish
Yeah.
Breaking Bad yet.
Me either.
Yeah. All right. I win. We're done. See you guys.
I
on
win.
episode 63. This is a great
Yeah.
episode. We're out.
See you later.
That's all I was waiting
Shit.
for. No, but honestly, so yeah,
Is it
it is a full length movie. It's kind of just the epilogue to Breaking Bad. But
So
I
it's
feel
like it wraps it all up again because I thought it ended good, right?
it
Like
did end good. So like
I didn't watch it.
I'm not gonna spoil the ending, but it
Sure.
ended with one specific character and a very vague ending, and they went to that character and wrapped everything up so perfectly. Like
Nice.
it could have they could not have done a better job at wrapping up the perfect finale of a show with an even more perfect epilogue. Like it was just
It's got to be hard to do, man. Think
dude,
about that.
the
man.
ending of Breaking Bad I have touted as the best finale of any show I've ever seen of all time.
Mm.
Like
The Wire and Breaking Bad are great
I
shows of all
agree.
time.
I don't see how they could have ended Breaking Bad any better than they did. And El Camino was just phenomenal. It was just seriously just like watching an hour and a half long Breaking Bad episode that featured on the character that I
Could I watch it without watching Breaking Bad?
No.
No.
It literally picks up. So like the end of Breaking Bad ends with this character doing something and then the other character dying.
I would say then it's not a good movie, Evan, because
No.
nobody can watch it.
Yeah.
like, without.
That's why
Like,
I
you
said
gotta-
it could be
You got to
It
do
could
a
be
lot of
cheating.
research to watch this movie.
you really shouldn't watch it. I mean, you probably could. Like if you got
don't
it, like you would probably get what's going on, but
You know me, I'm just picking.
you wouldn't get all like the nuances, like because there's a lot of like it's a fan servicey thing too, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Sure.
But anyway, no,
Yeah, I
I
have
love
not seen
Breaking
it.
Bad, and the fact that there's a movie based on it, I could not put it on my list. So
Fair enough.
there we go.
Is it my turn?
It
Yeah.
is.
I have What We Do in the Shadows on my top 10.
Wyatt,
favorite
I
movies.
just before you go into that, I think I've convinced Brittany that we might start watching that someday. And
Well, I mean, the show's just as fucking good, but
you-
I have the movie.
do you
on my
know
top
what's
10.
doing it? I was
What?
like, Nate from The Office? He's in it.
Oh yeah, he's one of the main characters.
I know. And I think that's what's gonna do it.
That's
But
two
the
back to back
movie-
I've never seen, by the way.
the
I've never seen
movie's
what we do.
got.
It's funny. I've
Oh, I
actually
haven't
seen
seen
that
it either.
one.
I haven't actually seen the movie, so but
Movie's
I do wanna
fantastic,
watch it.
man. It's one of those movies where there really isn't a crazy plot to it. It's really just following like a the
These
lives of these
fucking
three vampires that live in
goddamn
live in
vampires.
New Zealand. Is Jermaine Clement, who is part of like Flight of the Conchords, and everybody knows like Taika Waititi now. He directed a ton of shit.
This
He's
was
been in a ton of
years
shit.
ago.
He's one of the main vampires in it. It's fantastic. And it's just like clever, witty humor. And it's just like stuff you wouldn't like. As soon as you see it, you're like, oh, okay, that's something about like vampire lore, like deep vampire lore or something, or just like a ridiculous like pun or a dad joke or something. And then it gets super gory because they're vampires and they have to eat at some point. They have to drink blood, and it's fantastic. And it has the mockumentary kind of like The Office feel to it, where it's just cameras following them around doing a documentary on them, and they have like the one-on-one interviews, and it's great, man. I highly recommend it.
I'm actually
And the
gonna write
show.
it down.
And the show's great too.
I forget what scene.
I only saw it because of Wyatt.
I watched like some random TikTok or YouTube short or something, and it was I forget what scene it was why from the show, but it was something like that whatever character that Nate plays, he called someone a name and he's like, "Oh, do me next." And he said like he just completely insults him. He's like, "Well, that wasn't as fun as I thought it was going to be."
Yeah, he's like roasting these dudes, and he's like, I forget what he says, but it's like, I would forget your name if I didn't have it written down on a piece of paper I keep in my pocket at all times, or something. He's like, oh, this isn't fun anymore. He's like, I didn't. He's like, oh, roast me, do me next.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
But when I saw
But yeah.
that, I'm like, okay, maybe I gotta give this show a shot.
Yeah, the movie's great though. Yeah, it just follows the three vampires. It does have some werewolves. It shows how werewolves are in a society as well. The show has them too. The show actually goes into much deeper lore than the movie does in like 1.5 hours, you know. But I highly recommend it. It's great, especially like since you love The Office, man.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
Alex?
I mean, it was coming for me eventually. Return of the Jedi, though, is my favorite Star Wars film. And
I was gonna put Empire on mine, but unfortunately, no Star Wars movies are on my top 10 list.
One on, and it wasn't that one.
Well, there's always the argument whether Empire Return, and I feel the argument because Empire is amazing too. But for me, it's Return of the Jedi. It's the one I watch the most because it's the one again, these are my favorite movies. Empire might be the better movie.
Yeah.
But Return of the Jedi is the one I love because it's got black suit Luke Skywalker with the green lightsaber.
Out in the sand.
Yeah.
Like, that's the one with Boba Fett. Like, that's a badass fucking movie. That shit's amazing.
Movie.
Hell yeah.
It had to go. Star Wars is one of my favorite franchises of all time. It's something I continuously follow. I love it. Love it. Even the newer movies that everybody trashed on, I thought they were fine. People are crybabies. No, these aren't as good. Well, yeah, you're 40 and these are made for children. So, like, relax a bit,
especially with the mouse behind it.
Yeah, dude, it's a Disney movie. Remember,
Yes. Luke is a Disney prince.
Always
realize that.
I think he's.
But yeah, I agree with you, man. That movie is fucking amazing. I do have a different one for my personal favorite, but that movie is amazing. All three of the first ones.
All three of them. Actually, uncontroversial opinion. I really don't like A New Hope. I think it's boring. I understand the significance of it, but oh my god,
you've seen it 100 fucking times. You know what I mean?
And a lot of these movies I talk to, when Marissa came into my life, it was like Evan. She's never seen anything. So when I show her movies, it's almost like I get to watch them again because I'm like looking at her like, she's gonna love this part. When we were watching New Hope, dude, I was like, and I look over and she's like, I get it though. It like in the 70s, it was mind blowing. It's just like we're talking about The Thing. It did not age well. And it spawned some of the best films, some of the best franchises of all time. I appreciate it for what it did, but it doesn't get good till like the last 25 minutes of that movie. The whole hour leading up to that is just like,
what the hell's going on?
Like just watching dudes in sand for like a long time. Like a long time.
Who's this old guy? I don't fucking understand. Like, just confused.
And Evan, that's got to be.
I have seen that.
I am.
Yes.
that goes to 6. Yes. Evan's a 6.
You have seen Return
of the Jedi.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Great movie. Anyways, move on. Had to come up.
Vern?
Me.
Yep.
Me next? Okay. I'm gonna just go with my Star Wars movie because I have one on the list here. So
Okay.
like my personal favorite, like I said, this is not what I consider the best one, but this is my favorite for sentimental reasons.
Yeah.
Revenge of the Sith. That shit is amazing to me,
okay.
bro. I remember being like super young. I don't know how old. We can Google that shit when it came out, but like seeing it with my uncle and like just being like, holy shit, like and that being, I think it was my first Star Wars movie, to be honest with you. If it wasn't, I don't know, I think it was my first ever Star Wars movie. Okay, and I was a little kid and I go into this shit and I'm just like, oh my god, and that was amazing. Come out and my uncle is just like, and I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble, obviously it's something stupid here, but like my uncle comes out and he's just like, you want to see it again? And I'm like, hell yeah. And we just like, there was a big ass line like for people who already put their tickets in trying to get into the next theater, and we just hopped in the line because
Back
we were
before
walking
you
out
had
of
like
the
assigned seats and stuff. Like,
yeah, we were walking out of the show that just ended, talking in the hallway. He's like, "You want to see it again? It's showing right here too." And I was like, "Yeah!" And we just hopped back in line and watched it again. Like, I will never
people
forget that.
paid for their tickets and did not get to sit.
They said, "Not my problem. Not my problem." Sorry.
A little bit's your problem.
snooze
Not
you
my
lose.
problem.
It sounds like it's your problem.
Little bit.
No, it sounds like it was their problem.
It was their problem.
It caused their problem.
I was chilling. I'm not gonna say I didn't cause their problems, but it wasn't my problem. Okay, but I will always remember that shit, man, and I love it. It's one of my favorite movies ever.
It is also one of my favorite Star Wars films too. It would be ranked up there pretty high,
Yeah.
like probably 4 or 5, without thinking too hard into it. It'd be
That's
up
why
there.
he's like, hello there. Like, I
Hello.
fucking love it. I love that movie. So good.
Dude, I just showed Cody. I just showed Cody the General Grievous fucking meme where in the new one where Kylo Ren whips the lightsaber off the thing and he screams. And then like you just hear in the background, like, that'll add nicely to my collection. And General can just look at it. He jumps into the water. It's so fucking funny.
Oh my god, bro. I love that movie. It's just
General
amazing.
Grievous
But
is an underrated Star Wars villain too. He's dope.
Yeah.
He didn't get enough time.
he
I
did
agree.
it. He really
There
did.
is this awesome, and just sidetrack, I'll be quick and we'll move on to Evan. There's this awesome episode of the Clone Wars. I'm not sure how much you guys watch the Clone Wars, where the troopers go down and they're gonna attack Grievous like on his home base, like in his planet, and he's getting like built. So his bottom half isn't on. So the movie plays out like a horror movie, dude. It's just General Grievous, no bottom half, just like crawling through like the roof ducts and shit, just
Holy
like coming
shit.
down and picking troopers off. It's like a horror movie. It's crazy.
That's
I
crazy.
was like,
Sounds-
as a kid watching this, I was what in the fuck? Like, there's this scene I remember, and it's like all dark, and like it's like from the back of the troopers, and they're staring down this hallway, and you just see Grievous like coming, holding onto the ceiling, just like coming down the fucking hallway, and just start blasting at him. It's a great scene.
I have to look that up.
Anyways, well, Evan, your turn.
Okay. So I could not put Austin Powers on my list.
I knew it.
I knew who Austin
You
Powers
knew
Yeah.
it was gonna be on there.
Yeah. Which one?
If I had to pick, it's actually gonna be the second one.
Yeah,
Spider
Probably
Okay.
mine too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that is renowned as like the best Austin Powers.
It has
movie.
mini me.
Yeah.
It has literally everything. Like it's probably the most quotable one, in my opinion. Anyway, it was also the first one I saw, so it's definitely a bias,
Yeah. It's
a
nostalgic.
bias thing for me.
Yeah.
But like I don't know, it's so stupid. Like all of those movies are just the dumbest movies of all time. But like, man, they're so
It's
funny.
hilarious.
They are.
Funny.
Fucking hilarious, man.
That's Mike Myers almost at his prime, you know.
Yeah.
I would argue Wayne's World's up there too, but like that trilogy.
Yeah, that's
But-
like peak.
it's peak.
Like he did those 3 movies, and then that was other than Shrek. Like that's it.
Shrek, those 3 movies, Wayne's World.
Well,
like
no,
we
but I mean,
said.
like after those, after those
Oh.
movies, it's like
Oh,
Shrek.
yeah.
If it's
I mean,
not
it was the-
Shrek, it's
it was
like
the end of-
he's just doing his
Yeah.
own thing. But yeah,
Yeah, Austin Powers is great though.
yeah,
great
I don't
film.
really
That's
have
a
much
great
to say
comedy
about
franchise.
it. I mean, I don't really need to go into why Austin Powers is so awesome. So you know,
because
It's
like
Austin Powers.
any great comedy, quotable. As long as it's
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
quotable. If I could walk away and say things that are
I-
still funny without
I
them saying it to
literally
me, funny.
quoted it today, and not even like not knowing that I was like putting it on this list today. Brittany she said something about like her hazelnut creamer, and she said something about, or I forget what she said, And I was like, well, yeah, it goes good with coffee because it's nutty. And I'm like, oh, it's a bit nutty. Like, yeah.
Nutty.
This coffee
I don't remember if
smells
it's from
like
the second or
shit.
first one, but whatever. Dr. Evil's like has the big ass like globe bouncy ball, and he keeps bouncing it off a number 2's face. He's like, "Oh, you're gonna cry? You gonna cry?" Yeah. he's like,
Let's
he's
live
just, like
Austin
sitting
Powers.
there talking, and he just slams it into his face. Oh, you gonna cry?
Let's give Mike Myers credit too. Like movies where like same actor plays multiple roles are usually not good movies.
He
Usually,
plays every
Yeah.
character that
Yeah,
like
and
has significance, other than
those
like
are funny. That's
The
the funny one.
only other like peak tier is like Coming to America with like
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy and Arsenio doing like the barbershop guys.
Oh my god.
And Coming to America.
I would
is
argue the Nutty
hilarious.
Professor is pretty
Or
funny.
yeah,
too.
Nutty
gonna
Professor
say
is just
Nutty
Eddie
Professor.
Murphy.
Yeah.
That whole family is just Eddie Murphy.
Just Eddie Murphy, except the boy. The little boy
Except the
isn't
kid,
him.
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, my-
Everybody, imagine filming that with just that kid and Eddie Murphy. Anyways,
but yeah.
Wyatt.
Austin Powers, great.
Lost Ark.
My next one here, classic, Jaws. Steven
Jaws.
Spielberg.
Oh yeah.
I
This is
just watched Jaws the other
Oh,
week,
shit.
so add that
This
to the
is-
list.
One of the few movies I would consider like a masterpiece. Like it's
Mhm.
perfect the whole way through. Like the acting, the script, the way that it is, like it's directed, the music. I think the whole movie is just perfect for me. Like it's a great movie. It's one I watch yearly. It's fantastic the whole way through, man. I love Jaws.
Why,
up
as
there
I
for
was
me.
watching it, all I could think of is with like the mayor. I'm like, what the fuck is up with this guy? Like,
Yeah.
people are dying. What are you doing? Like, and I get it, like he's the
After being
villain.
a
But
coat for
like,
beach on the 4th of July.
I'm like, what is happening? Like, you're gonna let people go out there?
But like it's like little things too. Like I love like Roy Schneider's character as like Chief Brody. He's like just came to the island. He's not. He hates the water, and he's like
he
a
hates water. Yeah.
on Amity Island. And it's just like little things, like the one scene in it.
The wrong place to be a sheriff.
Yeah, and like one scene in it that doesn't even do with the shark. It's like whenever he's like stressed out, dealing with everything. Like he found the bodies, and he's just sitting at the dinner table, and like he's doing stuff, and his son is like sitting there copying him as he's doing it. And he's like looking at him, he's like putting his hands on his face, and then he like does like the mean monster. But like it's just like the little things like Steven Spielberg incorporates into these movies that makes them like realistic. It makes them feel like real people, real characters, especially with Jaws, you know. And then you get like Quint is like classic character in film history, like the boat captain. And then like that monologue there where he's talking about the USS Indianapolis going down, and he was part of that. That's a masterpiece. That's like one of the greatest monologues ever, man.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah,
Great movie. But
I
yeah.
liked it. Other than I don't get why they would open the beach, but I was part of the
July.
conflict.
They only make the money that time that year, man.
I get it.
Because the plot has
It's not
to go
right,
on.
but I understand why he was saying it.
All right. My turn?
Yes.
I will go with, I know you talked about Tarantino. Now, this isn't Tarantino directed, but he did write it. From Dusk Till Dawn
Ooh,
is one of my
interesting.
favorite movies.
I should have thought about that, man. I should have thought that might have cracked the top 10 if I would have thought about it.
It's like,
It is a great movie. I love it, man.
now again, has anybody else seen it? You two?
I feel like I have, but I can't remember any specific shit from
I feel
it.
like it's a crime to spoil it.
I
but
can't spoil it for you. Please watch it. But like, it's just one of those movies where like, it's seriously like two different movies mashed together, but it's so good. Like,
It's fantastic.
it's so fantastic. It basically just follows, and I'm not gonna spoil the end, but it follows these two brothers who like just robbed the bank and just killed a bunch of people, and they're like running from the law. And it just like the movie's just about them and where it takes them. But
Yeah.
like,
Easily my favorite George Clooney movie ever because he's a fucking badass in this
it's
movie.
up there.
Like
Seth
you've never
Gecko.
seen George Clooney like this. He's a fucking badass in
The
it.
only part for this movie that I've seen was the part with the lady and the snake.
Selma Hayek.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Peak
she's
Selma
looking
Hayek
great.
too.
Peak Selma Hayek. She's barely in the
Exactly.
movie, but she's amazing in it.
She's amazing.
But yeah, it's a crime to spoil it if you haven't seen it because it's one of those movies that you shouldn't see anything. You shouldn't watch anything on it. You should just
Right.
experience it because
You
you don't want to
should.
spoil it.
We should do a review on it. We should get together again like we did for
I
Evil
would
Dead.
love to get together and watch this as a
because I would like to see you guys watch it.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Sounds good to me.
Totally agree. We should do a review soon of that.
My only thing is, and we talked just last episode about movies I watch with my significant other and Marissa and stuff. This was one that, like, again, I was just so excited to get her reaction from this movie, and she gave me a great reaction. She was like, "What the fuck is this?" And I was like, "Yeah, like exactly what she like." Exactly, probably what the whole movie theater said the first time they saw this movie. They're like, what the fuck?
It's so great. It's great because it's Robert Rodriguez directing it with like Quentin Tarantino's writing in it. So it's great, man.
It's great. Two great filmmakers, period.
Yeah, coming together to create a great fucking movie. And I am definitely down to watch it with you guys because, like you're saying, I want to see their reactions to how.
Yeah, we might even film just us watching it, just to like be able to cut that reaction in.
I'm down with that.
It's a good movie. All right, that's my thing. I can't go too much into it without spoilers, so that's my thing there.
My next one, I'm gonna get an obvious one out of the way. Okay. Infinity War. I fucking love that goddamn movie. That shit's amazing. And like, I don't know how you guys feel because I love this shit. Like, obviously everybody here loves comics, but I love the fucking Marvel movies so goddamn much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I think Infinity War is better overall than Endgame. I don't know how you guys feel about that.
I could agree with that.
I think it's the same argument as Return of the Jedi versus Endgame, like versus Empire. It's just like one ends on such a downer, man. Like, God,
that's the fucking cream.
That's literally one of the best parts about it. I love, like, Empire's my favorite Star Wars movie.
Yeah.
The villain wins. That's the best fucking part. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
but the villain wins. No, and I'm not arguing. The movies are fantastic.
Exactly.
Yeah, the movies are both so good.
But the villain, all the shit happens, but it's like, you know, this is part one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you know, phase 4 is coming. So that kind of took away from it. But I remember just being like, holy fucking shit, man. Like, Spider-Man, you really, like, T'Challa, you know, like, oh my God. But like, I'm just saying, man, that's one of my favorite, not even just like Marvel movies, like movies, period. I've watched it so many times. And to be honest with you, with me watching it so many times, I definitely skip the Scarlet Witch Vision part where Captain America comes in, just because it's like, it's kind of slow. And like, I've seen the movie so many times, I'm just like, I skip past that part.
I feel like you watched that. What was it? I think it was Infinity War. I think you watched that like 3 times when we went to Key West, like just on the plane. And then when we were there, and then on the plane back, you were watching it.
Probably, man. Probably. I guarantee.
I forget if it was Infinity War or Endgame. It was one of the two.
While we have it up, I mean, I just want to give credit to Disney, and I know me and Vern are huge fans. I mean, I know you guys all watch them. Evan, not so much, right? Yeah, but like, to take a film franchise that is 26 movies, 27 movies long.
At that point, it was, I think that was 22. Because
whatever
it
is
23.
And
it was 21 or so. I don't fucking.
But to keep it going and to end it like that is just, it will never be experienced again. Like, it'll never, even with Marvel will never do
I was going to say, I don't think the MCU will ever top what they already did. Like, phase 4, 5, and 6 will not be as good as the Infinity Saga, is what they call it. You know what I mean? The first, like, that build up to that fucking last 2 movies was incredible. Like you said, 20 some movies worth of shit. 12
overall, that's got to be the best movie franchise. Like, overall, like, without having any duds, because we just talked about Indiana Jones. It has a dud. It's a much smaller sample size. Has a dud. Star Wars has a few
duds, but they're not like, compared to other duds, they're not like that bad. It's just like more of the same. It's like, oh, okay, we had to get through this fucking introduction movie. You know what I mean? Shit like that.
But I even think out of 22 films, I think maybe 3 or 4 of them are kind of duds. Exactly. Like, Star Wars is hitting that bat right now. There's only 9 of films, you know? Like, like, that's pretty good.
I love it, man. You know how I feel about the MCU. And I'm not going to lie, I do have one more MCU movie on here, so.
Okay.
Evan?
All right. So, you guys are kind of talking about another movie that alluded to this, but I actually had a fight between this one. but I'm picking Toy Story. So
Which is great.
Toy Story. Alex and Vernon, I'm so sorry, but I had to push The Lion King out for them.
That's okay. That's okay.
I had to
I didn't
pick.
put any
I love Toy
cartoons on
Story
mine.
though.
I was gonna
It was a
pick
great
between
movie.
one of them, and it had to be Toy Story. I mean, I just think Toy Story, that whole franchise is just so good. Like all
Yeah,
the fourth one, I think
I
is
didn't
the
see
worst one.
4.
Still not bad, but it could have not been existed at all, and I would have been fine with
Yeah,
it. But yeah, honestly, the first 3 at least, like I don't know, they're just really good
Great.
movies, especially
I
for being
agree.
Pixar's first movie. I believe Toy Story was the first fully like CGI movie, right?
Yeah.
yeah.
Like that's
It was great, man.
Yeah.
I really do love Toy Story.
Great
and
casting,
it's
great characters.
great
Yeah, I was just gonna say that too, the
All-star
casting.
cast.
like,
Yeah.
I didn't know that shit was the first fully CGI
the
movie.
first like fully computer generated movie of all time, and
Yeah.
wasn't
Yeah.
it?
Full length movie.
Yeah,
Full
full-length,
blank
yeah.
picture. There was other stuff, but like this was the first theater
Full-length.
ridden.
Was
In the
it?
theater.
Was it the
and
first
everything.
one or the second one? I think it was the second one where like someone took the file for the movie home and like accidentally deleted it or something. They had to redo like a ton of it
Damn.
in like
Oh,
a year.
Really?
It was
Why the fuck they only have one
dude,
file?
it's the stupidest story. You'd have to look it up, but like I think it was the second one. Like someone deleted like a master file or something somehow. And like they had to redo like the whole movie in like a year. And like the first one took like 5 years to make because it was
Yeah.
like, you know, this groundbreaking thing. But I don't know, Toy Story, and I feel like the ending of the third one was just the perfect ending to
Yeah.
the saga. And then they came out with the fourth one and was like, okay.
Wait, you're picking Toy Story 1, right?
I'm
Like, that's
picking
your
Toy
pick.
Story 1. If I had to
Okay.
pick the order of, I would go 1, 3, 2, 4 if I had to pick.
Yeah.
I would probably go in the exact order they came out. I go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
So I love the second one too.
I'm not saying the second
Second
one's
one's the
bad
one
by
with
any means.
Zurg, right?
Yeah, second one's the
Yeah,
one.
hell
Yeah.
yeah. And the
And the
traffic
old miner
cones crossing
dude.
the street.
Yeah,
I fucking love that shit.
I
I
just
like
feel like
I love the
second one
first
more,
one
too.
the most, though.
the first
Yeah,
one,
The
I
first
think,
one's
is
great.
best.
The music's in it great too. Randy
Yeah.
Newman.
And it's about toys.
Uh,
I don't know, like, you know, like when you were a kid, like you
It's
always thought
quotable.
like you kind of had that connection with your toys, and the whole movie
like, they
took the
did come
premise of
alive.
like maybe there is
Yeah.
a little bit more to that. And I
Yeah.
don't know, I love the third one
And he
only
got small
because
soldiers.
you know the third one came out how many years after the first one did, and you're kind
Yeah.
of grown up now. Andy's grown up, and I don't know,
Grew with
like,
you.
You moved
Yeah.
on. You moved on with them, and I don't know. I love Toy
I love
Story.
talk about this first one though. I love that Mrs. Nesbitt scene where Buzz is sitting there. He's lost his arm and he's
Yeah,
dressed up in the
tea
fucking
party.
the tea party. He's like, I am Mrs.
Woody's
Nesbitt."
like he has his arm with it, or like Adam.
Yeah,
He's like pointing at it with his arm.
he's like
Oh my God.
out of it, dude.
Dude,
He's like,
Sid in that
"No,
movie,
no.
dude. I don't know,
Dude,
man.
I just sent my
Derek Carr.
my sister a picture. She was telling me how she was telling me how her son, my nephew, was tearing the heads off of his action figures and putting them on different action figures, and I
Oh,
sent her
God.
a meme of Sid. And that was like just today, like a couple hours ago.
Woody killed Buzz. Where he knocks him out the window.
Yeah. I always hated fucking Ham, Pig,
Like,
whatever the hell
oh,
his name
Ham.
is.
He's an instigator.
Shut
Like-
the potato head.
My favorite not main character was always the RC car. I always liked him.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
like Slinky.
I like Slinky.
Hey,
He was
Woody.
funny. Hey, Woody.
He's Woody's right hand dog.
Yeah.
So I love that, like in the beginning of the first one, where that shark pops out with Woody's hat, and he's like, "Hi, I'm Woody. Howdy."
I just think I thought it was so cool how they used the toys to like how they were. Like Slinky was used as like a rope all the time. The RC car was used as like a car. Like they took the toy and actually like they used
Yeah.
like real toys that you actually
Like,
could
but
buy
at
and
the
play with, like
end,
Mr.
they're
Potato
using
Head.
the
Like
controller RC to like
I had
Yeah, they
like,
have taped to him.
get them back to the
I
moving.
had a toy Woody, Buzz, and the RC car, and I remember I drew like the hole on Woody's hand. I drew like in marker, you know, it's like the
Where
match
it's
when
from.
his hand
Yeah.
burned. I remember drawing that, and I wrote like my name on the bottom of Woody and Buzz's boot.
Did they already have Andy
Genius.
written
And he
down
like
there?
holds his
No,
head.
they didn't
He's
have
like,
Andy.
"Here."
That was for me.
That was bullshit. They should have had Andy written on the bottom of their
No, but
shoe.
it was mine. It wasn't
No,
Andy's.
fuck that.
I'm not Andy.
You're Andy. All right, let's move on.
Yeah. My next one here, I'm going with another comedy. I have Happy Gilmore on my top 10, man. It's one of my my favorite comedies of all time. It's classic. I just rewatched it the other day. It's another one of those quotable ass movies, man. Like the whole movie's memorable to me. Yeah, act like a damn fool. Like Chubbs with like classic characters like Shooter McGavin. You hate him. Chubbs is great.
Character is hilarious.
Oh
he's
yeah,
the mean ass fucking
the boss with the nail in his head, bro. So you can count on me catching you in the parking lot.
I like when he's running in slow mo and shit. That movie's amazing.
Come on, Evan. That's down to 4, right?
Wait, what? No, I'm definitely more than 4.
No, you'd be at 4 now.
No way.
Like I'm counting down. So you'd have 4 left. You've seen this one, right?
Yeah.
Happy Gilmore?
There's no way I've only seen 4 at this point.
No, you're at 4. So you started from 7, then we went to 6, then we went to 5, now we're at 4.
I feel like I've seen more than that already. I think we already talked about that.
No.
Yeah, I've definitely seen more than that.
No, I've been keeping track. No.
You have Return of the Jedi on there, right?
Yep.
You have
I've
Jaws.
written above them. Yep.
You have Dumb and Dumber.
Yep.
And you have this.
Yep.
Infinity War. Did you see that?
No, I haven't seen Infinity War.
Oh, I thought you saw
there was another one.
You've seen Revenge of the Sith?
No, I have not seen Revenge of the Sith. I actually had the
Jaws. You saw Jaws?
I said
Jaws.
Jaws.
You said that one. I have it.
Oh, you saw Jaws. Okay.
Really?
I don't know.
I thought it was closer than that.
Nope. Sorry.
But yeah.
Anyways,
to close it out, I mean, that's the only movie you're gonna get with you get Bob Barker getting beat up, bro.
Yeah.
The price is wrong, bitch.
The price is wrong, bitch.
And then Bob Barker kicks his ass.
I would say that is the holy trifecta of Sandler movies too. Waterboy, that, and Happy Gilmore. Yeah.
Billy Madison.
Oh, yeah, Billy Madison and Happy Gilmore.
Billy Madison is great too, but Happy Gilmore, man, has always been my favorite Adam Sandler movie. It's great. The dude yelling "Jackass" is a classic, iconic scene as well. Everybody knows that shit. Like Jackass
shit every time we golf.
Yeah.
I was just gonna say Happy Gilmore has just like solidified itself in golfing. Like, you know, like you're like, man, I gotta crack this. I'm just gonna Happy Gilmore. Like that's it's just kind of like a thing.
Because like it's as soon as he gets on the court, it's not even when he starts like golfing. As soon as he like gets introduced and he's walking out, he's like, "Gilmore, you suck." He's like, "How about you shut up? I'll beat the piss out of you," or something, like whatever he says. But he's like, "Gilmore, you suck, you jackass." Before he even hits this first shot.
You know what I saw today?
And I'm like, they would have thrown this dude out. Like,
maybe not back then.
Maybe not.
But like, I saw something today. Speaking of golf, and this is super quick, but like, there was a list of the top 10 all-time earners in sports. Okay, and this isn't like a year. This is where you are like now.
I saw Michael Jordan was number 1.
Michael Jordan was number 1, 2, 3, and 4 were golfers with Tiger Woods, Jack Nicklaus, and fucking Arnold Palmer. And I thought about that. I was like,
I remember hearing about Arnold Palmer's estate making like a ton of money every year. I don't know where I heard that.
Yeah.
All 3 of them were in the billions.
I remember hearing that somewhere. That's weird that you mentioned that because I heard that recently. Like,
Before we move on, one of my other favorite scenes in the movie is whenever they just show the TV of like he misses and it just it beeps out like every other word that he's saying. And he's like slamming his club and it just like you only get a couple words here and there. It's just beeping all the time. He like throws someone into the water. It's a classic movie, man. I love it. And Ben Stiller is the orderly.
Yeah, with
Ben Stiller's the orderly is funny.
Shit.
Yeah. Just go to sleep or I will put you to sleep.
I'll put you to sleep.
But we can move on. Alex?
I think mine's one that is probably kind of like every bro dude's favorite movie, but I got Fight Club up there.
I thought about that, but not in my top 10, man. It was
love.
Hell yeah. That's a damn good movie, man.
Love Fight Club.
First time you see that, you're like, whoa.
It's the first movie that blew your mind.
That probably was like one of the first movies that blew my mind on that scale where I was like, whoa. Like, it's so good.
And it's like it's dope as shit the whole way through. Like,
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
it's very like anarchy. It's very like grungy and dirty, and like you got like great characters: Brad Pitt, Edward Norton,
Yeah.
bouncing off each other. The chemistry in it's great, man.
Chemistry's great in it, you know, like just like a fuck society kind of movie. you
Yeah.
know?
That's a quotable movie too, especially
Super
that
quotable,
one,
yeah.
you know what I mean?
Super
But, like,
quotable, yeah.
It's
Right.
really good.
Got some
I haven't
gnarly
seen that
scenes
in a
too.
while. I would
Like
love to
when-
watch that again.
Beats
Yeah.
the shit out of Jared Leto, bro.
Oh, yeah, when he
Like,
beats.
like
He's
he,
like, I just wanted to
demolishes
destroy
his face.
something beautiful.
Yeah, yeah.
Evan, come on.
Classic movie.
I haven't seen it.
Like,
That's a review we're gonna have to do, man. Like,
Yeah.
Fight
you haven't
Club's
watched
wild.
Fight Club. That's fantastic.
That's like
Yeah.
the top every bro top movie. We don't get to talk about it that much. It's been talked about.
I know it's
Really.
super popular. There's a ton of movies that I know are like, I know quotes
Super.
from them. Like I just never seen them, man. Fight Club's one of
Yeah.
my.
I feel you on that.
I actually, just speaking of Fight Club, when I was in high school, we had to do a monologue, and I cut a bunch of quotes from that movie, and I made it into its own thing, and then I like repeated it, you know. And I told her I didn't like steal it. I told the lady that's what I was doing. So like my whole monologue was just like monologues from fucking
Yeah.
from Fight
And you
Club.
could do it too, because like the whole movie is narrated and everything. Like it's
Oh,
pretty
yeah.
much one big monologue. But yeah, like I'm guessing like I had like with a lot of the Tyler Durden stuff in it too.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, it's great, man.
Yeah,
Fantastic.
I switched it and I made it that I was like, my monologue was like I was an army general, like saying it, and like there's a scene where he's like, "You're not all beautiful and unique snowflakes, you know, you are all the same individual," you know, like
Yeah.
so. I like did this whole thing with it, but
And it was so different than anything else. Like the way it's stylized and the way it's cut, like there's a lot of different shit you don't see in anything else too.
another movie where you watch it the second time and it almost gets better because there's things that you just didn't see the first time that now you're looking at and you're like,
There's
damn.
like subliminal flashes. Like there's parts in it where it's Edward Norton and there's like a 0.5 second flash of Tyler Durden like in the background or something, and like of Brad Pitt.
Coming.
Yeah, and like you notice that. Like I still notice some different shit when I watch it. It's been a while since I've seen it.
Not gonna
Great.
spoil the ending for you, Evan, though.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah,
I
definitely
knew
watch
about the
that.
flashes actually. I knew about that.
Yeah. I won't spoil the ending.
Yeah.
Great ending though.
Yeah, we probably shouldn't
Go.
talk about it, right? Like,
Yeah, probably not.
I know quotes. I just don't. I've never seen the movie.
All right, Vernon. You bad.
This next one for me, I'm gonna go with one of my favorites, and Wyatt knows this shit. Rush Hour 2. That shit is
I
hilarious.
figured
I
Rush
fucking-
Hour would be like somewhere on your list.
I love that shit. Shit is so fucking funny, man. I love it. Like the whole movie. And like nowadays, there's some things in it where you'd be like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Especially
it's
like some of the exactly, but like the
Yeah.
part where they're looking at the chick undress it, just like things like that. I'm like, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? But like that's just 2021 now. But like that shit is hilarious. I love
It's
that movie. The way Chris Tucker and Jackie Chan bounce off each other, the way
It's
Jackie
great.
Chan does all of his fucking stunts. You know what I mean? Like just, that shit's so cool, man. I
Wait,
love
Chris
that.
Tucker is crazy racist the whole movie. The whole fucking movie. Crazy racist.
That's the type of shit, man. You just
No,
like,
I'm just kidding.
damn.
It is real funny.
Yeah. But it's
Comedy for
it's
those who
fucking
don't like
hilarious.
racist humor, go watch like Shanghai Noon and Shanghai Nights with Jackie Chan and Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Leave
but
it.
it's fucking hilarious, man. I love it. Have
Yeah,
you seen
no.
that, Evan?
No, I've never seen
Rush Hour?
Rush Hours. No.
Rush Hours are good, man. That's a good. I have that trilogy on DVD. Why or Blu-ray? Why got that shit
Dude,
for
I would
me?
be interested
Yeah.
to borrow that from you because I haven't
yeah.
seen him. I haven't seen him in a while. I mean, I've seen them all,
Yeah.
but it's been a
It's
minute.
trilogy.
I don't know if
Yeah.
I ever saw the third one, to be honest.
They're in
I saw
Paris.
the first
the third one,
two.
right? Aren't they in Paris?
Paris.
The third one? Yeah,
Paris.
I've seen
Yeah,
it.
I don't think I've seen that one.
It's Rush Hour. It's not as good as the first two, but it's what you expect.
Do you understand the words that are coming out of my mouth?
Yo,
Understand words that are coming out of your mouth.
I
That might
love
have
watching
been the-
it nowadays because you see the big ass phone he's talking on and
Yeah.
shit like that, like just stuff like that,
It's
man.
crazy to see like those huge brick phones that
Big
people
ass
are holding.
brick-
That's the movie I learned war from too. Like, whoa, what is it good for? Like, that might have
I
been the
learned
first.
Small Soldiers.
Yeah, I don't know if I like quite picked up on it until later though.
Yeah.
All right, Evan.
All
You're
right.
next.
We're on number 5. Jeez.
Yeah, we're halfway through.
So my middle one is American Pie.
Okay. That's a classic comedy.
Classic raunchy comedy.
I was gonna say, I feel like it's like the best teen movie of the late 90s, early 2000s. You know what gets it? I mean, not only because I watched it a billion times, but the soundtrack in those movies are like right in my genre of music.
And I was gonna say it's probably double great for you because Blink-182 are in the movie.
Blink-182 is in the movie, yeah.
And you love Blink-182, so.
But yeah, like that whole movie is just like early 2000s pop punk is like riddled throughout all 3 of the original movies.
Yeah. Speaking of movies that the comedy did not age till 2021.
No,
it didn't age well.
Some of it is definitely
Like, let's film a girl without her consent. It's gonna be great.
Yeah. Like everyone is watching it. Yeah.
But the dude fucking the pie.
But yeah, like,
classic timeless comedy that will be hilarious forever.
Eugene Levy is so funny.
He's funny.
He's just like, we don't have to tell your mother about this.
We don't have to tell you. Dude's like sitting there with a pie. Classic.
Like they're just looking at the pie together. Like,
oh yeah, it just cuts to hit that pie.
The pie just destroyed.
Like, we don't
that movie. Not only is great, but it spawned, like, that was the first of its kind like that, and it spawned just not only sequels, just copies, and like everybody wanted to be that raunchy teen comedy.
That was a movie like what we talked about. I think it was before we did the podcast here about, like we were saying, South Park and The Simpsons when we were younger. American Pie was a movie my parents told me specifically I could not watch.
Me too, man. It was a movie I stuck to watch as a kid. Like,
yeah, exactly. I feel like a movie I was like, I need to watch this.
Yeah,
the first moment I can.
Is American Pie The Simpsons to Superbad?
Maybe.
No, I would say Superbad is more tame than The Simpsons.
I guess so. I guess like
than American Pie.
American Pie. The American Pie.
American Pie.
That has to be the first like comedy of that raunchy caliber.
I mean, the entire point of the movie is to lose your virginity.
It's just to have sex.
That is the goal of the movie. And like,
Nadia is slamming hot though. Whoever that is.
And Stifler's mom.
Yeah.
Stifler's mom. Oh my god, dude! I love how like. Have you guys seen the reunion movie?
I've seen most of them actually.
Like you saw the most recent one, right?
Yeah, pretty sure.
I thought A Wedding was. I don't know, maybe.
No, not like, and not including like all the like the straight to DVD ones. Like they don't count.
Sure.
But no, but they came out with one in like 2010-ish or something. It was called American Reunion, where they brought back the original cast for the full movie.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, like I don't know if you. I don't want to.
Yeah, but that shit was 11 years ago.
It was a while ago.
The first one came out like 20-something years, over 20 years ago. It's crazy.
Like, I think it was like Stifler finally got with Finch's mom or something.
Yeah. Finch, little bitch, she deserves it.
But yeah, oh man, yeah, just those movies are just so funny. Like, and I know they're little. They didn't age well, but
yeah.
Oh, I was joking, man. I'm all about.
No, but you're right. I mean, like, like nowadays,
man.
Especially considering she's in high school, like
it's fake. It's a movie.
But I love American Pie.
Yeah, I definitely recommend American Pie if anybody hasn't seen it. My next movie here, I think we talked about it last podcast a little bit. Dazed and Confused is one of my favorite movies of all time. I love Dazed and Confused. This is a definition of a hangout movie. Nothing really happens in it at all. You just kind of hang out in the lives of these different like characters. There's like 8 different characters you get to know throughout this whole movie, and you just kind of get to see it from their point of view, and they all come to like the same party towards the end. But it's great, great characters. Like Matthew McConaughey was like one of his first movies, and it's still like a well-known role of his,
All
right, exactly. But the soundtrack is one of the greatest soundtracks. Also, like classic, like music, 70s, like classic rock music. But yeah, great movie, man. I highly recommend it if you haven't seen it, Evan, or anybody watch it.
I haven't seen it. No.
I watched it with you. Why?
Yeah, I know. I'm the one who showed Vern the movie.
Oh yeah,
but I love it, man. Like it's just a movie I could put on and just chill, watch. Like nothing exciting happens. There's no ups really. There's no downs. It's like a chill movie. Like I watch Up and Smoke every year as well. Up and Smoke could easily be on this top 5.
That's one that I did almost put on my list here.
I watch it every single year. I love Up in Smoke.
I love the
But it's
part-
another movie where nothing really happens throughout the whole thing. There is a sort of a plot, but like you're not really like there's no ups or downs. Nothing crazy happens. It's just a comedy. But yeah, I love Dazed and Confused.
All right, Alex.
Oh, my turn. I'm
Alex.
sorry. I don't have any lighthearted movies anymore, man. My next movie, I guess, will be. I love Leon the Professional. That's one of my favorite movies.
I thought about this being on your list because you're the one that actually showed me the movie of Leon, and I actually really liked it.
It's
really
one
enjoyed
of
it.
those movies where like it's a very slow burn and then it just pops right at the end. Like right at the end, it's just crazy. Evan again?
I wanted to, I'm curious because I've actually never even heard of it. What's it about?
So it's basically it's got Natalie Portman in it. You know Natalie Portman.
She's like super young.
Super
she's like
young.
13, 14 in this movie.
Yeah, she's young, and she's like this little girl, and they live in this apartment building. And across the hall from her lives this hitman. He's like this Russian-speaking hitman. He's like a real calm guy. And then like these drug lords who are run by Gary Oldman.
Yeah, Gary Oldman.
Gary Oldman.
Great
Best part of the whole fucking film, dude. He's crazy in this.
Nuts.
And he goes into this little girl's house and he's killing her family because her dad owes him money.
Oh,
and like she's coming back, and this all happens at the beginning of the movie. She's coming back with like groceries. So then instead of going home, she goes to like the hitman's like house. She's like, let me in. Then the rest of the movie just follows him kind of training her to be a hitman, but she's like real young, you know, and she like falls in love with him and she's trying to like
it kind of gets a little weird.
He turns her down though. He's like,
he turns her down.
He's like, no, like, but as a 13-year-old girl, you probably would at that point, you know, he's her knight in shining armor at this point.
Yeah.
But he turns her down. He's like, no, this is not what this is, you know, like.
But he takes care of her and takes her in and everything.
But the best, it leads up. It's all good scenes, very good dialogue, and it leads up to she wants to get back Gary Oldman, so she tries to, and he's the head of the DEA, like he's like a corrupt DEA agent, and she like goes to try to assassinate him, and then he figures out who she is, and he's going to kill Leon, the professional, like the actual hitman, and like that's the best scene, dude, because like. They send like a squad of cops in, and Leon just like kills
a whole SWAT team through this apartment building, and he's just fucking taking them out, dude.
There's just this great scene though, and they're just like, "Who do you want, boss?" And he's like, "Everybody." And he's like, "Everybody." He's like, "Everybody." And they get like, so like Leon is escaping the building, and they're showing you the scene of like him leaving the building. I'm not gonna spoil how he does it, but like he's like. And like they have SWAT men all along the hall, all the way down the stairs, all the way on the streets. There's like hundreds of squad men, and like the whole last half hour of this film is just this big gunfight of them just sending people into this room and him just like blasting the shit out of people. Great film.
It is a great movie. That's one I'm due to rewatch here soon. We should do a review of that someday.
Same. I own that too. So great film.
Nice. Interesting.
Great movie. Okay. Good pick, man. Vern?
The next one here, I Am Legend.
Okay.
I fucking love this movie. Got my second Will Smith movie on here.
Two Will Smith movies.
I didn't really realize that when I was making it there, but I fucking love I Am Legend, like the whole thing, like the whole way through, like, and it's something. It's kind of very like feels like a 2008 movie type of, you know what I mean? It just feels like what was par for the course at the time, but because Will Smith's in it and the plot of it, he's great in it, and he's like really the only person most of the time. It's one of those types of movies. So if anybody can carry it, it was that period of Will Smith. He was great, you know. Maybe not that period because he was doing like Pursuit of Happiness and stuff like that. So he was
peak Will Smith.
Exactly.
It was like when he was hitting his stride.
Right. So I fucking love that movie so much.
It is a great film. I'm gonna be that snob. My only complaint is they changed the ending from the book, and the ending from the book is much, much, much better.
Well, isn't there an alternate ending as well?
I've only seen it once or twice.
Have you ever seen the alternate ending?
I think there is, yeah.
No. I've seen probably only the theatrical cut.
It's crazy. It's wild. I forget what it is, but it's so much different than the actual ending.
The book
he actually lives in the alternate ending.
I
Well,
think he
I think-
heals her or something like that. Like I forget exactly how it goes down, but there is an alternate ending. You can just Google it. You know, you'll
Well,
see.
I'll just tell you about the book ending and see if it matches, if it sparks your memory. So in the movie, he just, they kill
Gets
him.
the
And
grenade.
yeah. In the alternate or in the book ending, the vampires, they come down in the basement or whatever they are, and they're like smart and they're like, listen, like you're the outlier here. We're the new we're the new evolution of people, like we've taken over the world. And then so he doesn't create the cure. He gives himself up, because
Oh,
he's like
shit.
killing them all. And they're like, listen, like we're the where you've evolved now. We're coming, So
Yeah,
That's crazy.
So
that's a great ending.
So he
That's
doesn't.
not-
Yeah, they don't solve it. He lets them. I don't know if they turn him or kill him or how it ends, but that's how they do it. He
Yeah,
stops working
yeah.
on the cure and everything, and he's just like, all right, like this is it. Because the
Yeah.
girl that he saves in the other one is like a better one. She's not so primal in it. Like, because they're like all primal, but she's
Yeah.
like getting smarter, but she is one in
Right.
the book. But
Huh.
good movie though. Will Smith
Yeah.
is great in it.
Oh, yeah.
Like you were saying, like an actor carrying a movie, just him.
Like
He's
a Bruce
talking to
Campbell type
himself,
of
talking to the
situation.
mannequins and stuff.
Right.
Evan,
And just suspenseful.
4, come on, I'm rooting for you, man. 4 to go.
Yeah, that scene where the sun starts going down and you see it on the city, and he's like racing to get back. Like, great.
I
He's
love
yelling
it,
at the
man.
mannequin. That's funny.
Yeah, he's yelling at the mannequins. No!
It's like, what are you doing here?
the
I fucking
Kevin
love that
James
shit.
skit is funny on that too. Have you ever seen the Kevin James skit?
Yeah, where he's the
Where he's the
sound
sound guy.
guy.
And he's like, "What, Will? What?"
It's hilarious. That shit is funny as fuck. I'm so glad he makes those.
Kevin James, he was putting some quality content on YouTube.
He
for
was
a
for a
minute.
while there. All right, I've done. Evan, your turn.
No,
Or no, I'm sorry.
no,
Vernon.
yeah, it is my turn, isn't it?
Yeah, Vernon's done.
Wow.
I'm done.
Okay. So I got a classic, Back to the Future. So
Oh, okay.
I
Yeah.
love Back to the Future, and
That's the damn.
I'm just gonna say the first one. I mean, I think the whole trilogy you should just watch it all in one because it's, I don't know, they all flow right together. But
Yeah.
I don't know.
Third one's for sure the weakest, though.
Wait, what's that?
Third one's the weakest.
Third one's the
like
weakest. Let's be real.
third
Yeah.
one's the weakest.
The second one used to be my favorite until I figured out the biggest plot hole in the movie, and it bothers me to no end now.
I think the second one is my favorite.
It is the most fun, I think.
Yeah, I would
Yeah.
probably say the second one might be my
You
favorite.
guys know
out of
about the big plot hole, right? Like
I'm sure if you started
When-
talking about it, I've
when
read it
Biff
once or
goes
twice.
back to the future, or goes back to the past and gives old Biff the almanac. When he comes back to the future, it shouldn't have been that future. It should have been the Biff future.
It should have been a different one.
He shouldn't have came back to the same future, and they literally explain it later in the movie, like it creates an alternate timeline.
Yeah, man.
So when he goes back,
time
it
travel's hard.
it should have been the future where he was Donald Trump. Like that's how
No,
it.
man.
That's
Man.
how it was.
No, you see, he was a variant. He came back on the original timeline.
That ain't
He was
no. That's not what
Oh,
Donald.
you didn't watch Loki,
You didn't
man.
watch Loki.
It's
You
didn't
a
fucking
watch
variant,
Loki.
man.
This is different.
It splits.
We're on Dragon Ball timelines. You go back in the past, it creates a different one. This is how
You're
Back
on
to the
you're
Future
on
works.
one timeline here, man. You gotta imagine it like a layers.
Now this is in the 80s. Time travel evolved since then. But yeah, no, I love the first one though. I mean, I just think I feel like it's everyone's like intro to sci-fi kind of thing. Like it's
Sure.
like I don't know. It's time travel. It's fun. It's the whole
It's a
point of like
fun, family-friendly movie
we
in,
gotta
in
go
that
back.
genre.
Like that's
Gotta go back.
Like,
Great
it's-
performances.
you're rooting
Marty.
for Marty
That's
the
part of it.
whole time,
Marty.
and without it, we would have
Marty.
had Rick and Morty. So like
Yeah, you for sure would not have.
Exactly. Exactly.
it's
Good pick. Good pick.
I
It
love
is a
it.
great pick.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
My next movie here is The Blues Brothers.
Hell yeah. I've only
like-
seen that like once.
I've never
and I have to
seen it. I'll
review.
just tell you now,
I,
Alex. I've
like-
never seen it, but I know about it.
It's technically not a musical, but it is a musical because there's music the whole way through it. There's
Mhm.
musical numbers throughout the whole movie, and it's great. I've been in love with the music, in love with the soundtrack itself. I've listened to the soundtrack numerous times by itself, but the movie, John Landis movie,
Funny.
classic like John Landis. Then you got Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi in the lead roles, who are hilarious. And then they just got to put the band back together one at a time. Go go and get the band members, and this is a whole adventure, and then they got to try to book a gig, and then they just run into like Aretha Franklin, Ray Charles, Cab Calloway. It's fantastic, man. Like, I love the Blues Brothers. If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend it.
My favorite scene is when they blow up the building and they're sleeping in it, and they like wake up, they come out of the rubble, and they're like, "Oh, we're gonna be late."
Yeah, they literally blow up the building that they're in, and there's just bricks, and they just roll out of the bricks, and they're like, "Oh, we're late."
We're late. It's just late. It never explains. Cuts away. Like, all right,
we're late.
That's a good movie.
And then they have, like, of course, one of the big staples of the Blues Brothers is the car chases with the police. And there's like a couple of them throughout this movie, and it's fantastic. They drive through a mall at some point. They drive through the streets of Chicago. And then there's pileups of cop cars, and then they run into the Nazis at some point. And they're getting chased by John Candy, and they have so many like cameos as well, like John Candy. I'm blanking on the name, but Princess Leia is in it. Carrie Fisher. Tons of Steven Spielberg's in it for like 10 seconds. So I mean, it's I don't know. I highly recommend it, man. It's a great movie all around.
It's a great film.
Oh yeah.
I didn't think of it, but you saying John Candy, I would put Uncle Buck in one of my top 10 films. Buck. It's not up, but I fucking love Uncle Buck with John Candy.
I thought about putting Beetlejuice, and it's not John Candy related, but I thought about putting Beetlejuice in my top 10, but it didn't make it.
I thought about Planes, Trains, and Automobiles too. Another John Candy movie I love. Anyways,
yeah,
we will move on. My turn. I will stick with the musical theme. I also have a musical in here. Chicago for me.
Oh, okay. See, that's a movie I haven't seen.
Hamilton.
Oh no, not Hamilton is great though, but nope. Richard Gere, Catherine Zeta-Jones, Nicole Kidman, I think. Yeah.
Isn't Renee Zellweger in it too?
Oh, that's who's in it. Renee Zellweger, not Nicole Kidman.
I haven't seen it, but I know about it.
Yeah, Queen Latifah's in it. Fantastic movie. Fantastic, like, music. And this is a movie I saw with my mom even before I was into that kind of stuff, like watching musicals and things like that. And, like, when she got it, I was like, no, I'm not watching a musical. And then, like, it was just on. And, like, it wore into my head. And, like, I could sing all those songs. Fucking Dewey Cox is in it, whatever his name is, John C. Reilly.
John C. Reilly.
He's in it. Like, it's just, if you're gonna watch any musical, it would be the one I would recommend. Like, it's so good. I guess
you don't want any part of this shit, Dewey.
I was like, if you're gonna listen to a musical, listen to the one I tell you to listen to.
It's just, and listen, I'm a big musical fan. I love Across the Universe is another one I love, but I didn't put it there.
I do love Across the Universe.
It was up there, but like I didn't put it because it's not original music. It's the Beatles music. So I was like, like Chicago wrote its music,
Yeah.
I love Hairspray. I love tons of musicals, but Chicago, man. There's an energy to it. It's all set in like 1930 Chicago, and it was like flapper girls, and it's just like the newspaper. If you've never seen it, it's basically about.
I haven't seen it. No.
It's basically about a girl who wants to be this jazz musician. She wants to be really like famous and stuff, and she's cheating on her husband and she shoots her husband when not her husband. She shoots the guy she's cheating on her husband with, and like she goes to prison. But it was set back in the 30s, so like. It's when people were infamous and like the press was having a field day. So she starts becoming famous, but like infamous. So she's having like these visions in her head of how she's going to be so famous because she's the famous Roxy Hart, And at the same time, there is an actual jazz musician in prison, like in this woman's prison with her, who is like also getting famous because she shot her lover and her sister who was sleeping together. It's like a whole scandal thing. But like the whole movie's in the main character's head, and she's like imagining these crazy set pieces and like being a jazz musician. So, but it's awesome. Richard Gere is her lawyer, awesome. Dewey Cox, John C. Reilly is her husband, and he's just like this simp. Like he's just like he really is the whole movie. He's just like I love her still, like I still love her, and she's like. It's a great film.
Great. I have to watch it.
Great music, man. There's a Cell Block Tango music, and I'm gonna get off it, I promise. But there's a song called the Cell Block Tango, and it's going through what each person did, how they got there, and they're like telling them. And she's like, the one chick's like, he kept yelling at me, and then he ran into my knife. he ran into my knife 10 times.
Oh my
It's just
God.
like these women, because at the end of it, they keep saying that, like, you know, like, oh, I'm guilty, but like Gita did it too, you know, like,
Yeah.
like, can't blame me, like, you know, whatever. And then the one girl, she's like speaking in Russian and she's innocent. It's fantastic. Great film, great scenery,
check
great
that
movie.
out.
It's won like 5 Oscars, so somebody else.
Yeah, I
liked
knew it was huge at the
Yeah.
time.
it.
Yeah.
It's huge. I own that too. You're welcome to borrow it.
Yeah,
Fantastic
I have
film.
to.
Great film.
Okay. So my next one here, I would put The Dark Knight.
Oh,
I thought about it, man. I really
okay.
did.
That shit to me, the greatest superhero movie ever fucking made. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And like, I know that's not saying much, honestly, but like, I love that fucking movie. You know
I
what I
think
mean?
it's saying
Like,
a lot now in the with what
In the
you're
landscape
saying,
of
with the
superheroes,
landscape
yeah.
of superhero movies and Marvel
Yeah.
MCU.
if we're looking
I think it's saying a
13
lot.
years later, I still consider it better than everything that's come after it. Everything that's been
Especially with,
inspired
like,
by it.
little to no CGI in the
Uh-huh.
movie, you know.
So I technically have 2 Nolan movies on here too. I didn't think about that.
You got
have
two
two
Nolan
Nolans.
movies.
But I fucking love that movie, and both of you have seen it, like you said, like you know exactly why. One of my favorite. See, I don't even know. It would be one of my favorite scenes, but it's the very, very, very first scene of the fucking movie where you're just slowly zooming in on that window. You know what I mean? Just ever so slowly, and then it shatters. And I remember being in the theater and being like,
and the score with it too, it's just like this like little like humming noise the whole time.
That
And
Nolan
it's giving me chills thinking about it because I'm thinking about the whole scene. Like I
Hans
picture it
Zimmer,
in my
man.
head. Yeah.
That's Hans
Yeah.
Zimmer.
And it's
Zoom it
present
in.
throughout the whole movie. Whenever there's something serious going on, it starts doing that little noise, like that music starts setting in, and you're like, oh shit. And that's
And I
what
love-
like Hans Zimmer working with Christopher Nolan, they're able to make scenes like that, you know, build the
Exactly.
tension, build the suspense.
And I love Alfred in it, Michael Caine. Like that's
Oh,
probably
yeah.
my favorite Alfred out of all of them, you know. But
Yeah.
I love just his dynamic with Bruce the whole time, where he's almost like a grandfather, you know. But at the same time, he knows he's still professional. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like, but I love it. It's so good.
And Morgan
Christian
Freeman
Bale.
stepping up in a bigger role as Lucius in this one, you know, he takes over.
I love that scene where he's like, "Your plan is to blackmail him." Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Good luck.
The richest man in your plan is to blackmail.
he's like, "You're
Yeah.
telling me you think your boss is Batman, and your
goes
plan
around
is
and beats
blackmail?
up criminals.
I fucking love that
Yeah.
shit, bro.
And
He's
like
just
whenever he like they throw the scarecrow in it, like for Batman's
Oh,
first
yeah.
appearance of the movie, and like he's like, I'm not wearing hockey pads.
Yeah, I love that shit too. The Batmobile's badass, like, you know, like
Yeah.
I just
Badass.
so
And
much
then of
cool
course
shit about it.
the Heath Ledger Joker movement, you know,
We didn't
everybody's
even
behind.
get to that.
We didn't
you
even
know.
talk about that.
Who's the best
That's
part of the
probably-
whole film?
The best
Yeah.
part of the whole film is Heath Ledger as the Joker. And
Yeah.
it's crazy how we talked about it for 3-4 minutes and didn't even get to that yet. So that tells you how good this fucking movie is.
Yeah,
You know?
it's specifically one of the greatest scenes of the movie for me is that interrogation scene between Batman
Yeah.
and the Joker.
Just
That's one of
flips
the
the lights
greatest
on.
scenes of the fucking movie, man.
Oh God.
And he's
I
just
fucking
beating
love
the
it.
shit out of him, throwing him around. Where is he? Where is he? It's
Oh,
great.
God. We
I
can
think
move
I-
on. That's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I think I've told this story before, but that was a movie, and I was stubborn when I watched it. And I was like, it's not that good. People are overhyping it. And I watched it years later, and I was just like, nah, I'm wrong. Like it humbled me. That's how wrong I was. I was like, nope.
And
This
we
movie's
mentioned him
fantastic.
before. Gary Oldman as Commissioner Gordon
Yes.
is
Gary
great.
Oldman's Commissioner
Yes.
Gordon. Yep.
Exactly. Gary Oldman is amazing in that movie. And like to me, I know Alex and you, Wyatt, probably Batman's higher on your list of superheroes.
Oh, for sure.
Like,
Yeah,
so
for sure.
Than me personally, and
Yeah.
I still consider that the greatest fucking superhero movie ever made. That's just
Come on, Evan.
my-
I can mark this, right?
I have not seen all of The Dark Knight.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
I haven't sat. I've seen so many clips of it, but I've never sat and watched the whole thing.
Not only is it considered one of Burnham's greatest movies, you look up like the top 100 movies, I guarantee it's like in
It's
the top
on your
10.
background. I noticed it earlier. I was like, oh,
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
it's got one of my fucking
Yeah,
movies
Dark
on
Knight.
there.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
on
know
the
what's back there.
background.
I don't disagree with you. I just never sat and watched it. Like,
Gotta watch it. I'm just kidding.
I did notice there's a poster of Young Frankenstein in there, and I just watched that the other weekend, and I
Good
fucking
movie.
love Young Frankenstein, dude. It's
I don't
hilarious.
even know
I
it's
can't really make out any of the other ones.
because I'm so tiny. I can't like I don't know what What is
yeah.
on there?
But
You're
yeah,
not tiny to
fucking great movie.
us.
Tiny.
Omen.
What do you have next here, Evon?
Jurassic
Oh,
Park.
my
Jurassic
next one. La La Land. I see that.
Are you
King
picking La
Kong.
La Land as your
You
third
picking
favorite?
La
No,
La
no, no,
Land?
no. I'm just looking at
Oh,
Alex's
that's a cool
background.
cover to The Dark Knight too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Yeah,
I'm looking at your
It's
background
like
too.
the badass one, you know. I don't think that scene was ever in the movie, but it was just badass. You know what I mean? Like,
I don't think you blew up the building in a shape of a bat.
Wait, what? What are you guys looking at?
All right. So it would not be a list with Evan stuff without anything Dragon Ball related on it.
Oh,
Here we are.
And it's gonna
Calvin.
be the Broly movie, this Dragon Ball Super Broly
Oh,
movie.
the
okay.
new one.
It
I
has
was
to
this
be.
close. God,
It
this close.
is so good. Like Brittany watched the movie and understood pretty much everything that was going on with it, and not
Yeah.
like which we have watched the first 2 episodes of Dragon Ball. We have come a long way in 13 years. All right, we just
Oh, yeah.
watched that the other night. We watched. I just got to get her past the part where it's like sexually crude humor. After we get past that, it's going to be a lot better.
Like the original Dragon Ball.
Wait,
I
what's
would
that?
probably just.
You're watching
skip
like the original Dragon
Yeah,
Ball.
we're
like, with
starting
Kid
from
Goku?
Dragon Ball.
Oh
going-
man, I would skip that.
I would
Just
skip
go to
Dragon
No,
Ball.
no,
I would probably
No,
No, you
I
know
didn't
why?
think it was
Because
bad.
Kid
To it.
Goku is cute. That's
Kid
why.
Goku- It's a good
until
show.
he's like pulling Bubba's panties and stuff.
Yeah,
you know
we
what I
got
mean?
to that.
didn't age well.
He pats
And then you
her-
got
yeah.
Master Roshi all perverted.
Hold on. She
Master
hasn't seen this
Roshi's
part yet. She
worst.
hasn't seen that yet.
Spoiler, Brittany.
God.
She's
Sorry,
16,
Brittany.
by the way, and Goku's like 12 years old, seeing his dong the whole freaking show.
Yeah, you do
Oh.
get to see his
You get to see-
It's
see his
crazy
dick a
they
lot.
show his dog the
Yeah.
whole time.
It's prevalent throughout the entirety of the show. But anyway,
Well, yeah,
um,
Enough you brought
Broly.
it up.
but no, the Broly movie, the animation is freaking incredible. The story is incredible. It canonizes Broly and Gogeta in the whole
Mhm.
movie. Like that alone is awesome.
He gets
And
Gogeta blue. You know what I'm saying? That
Gogeta
shit's
Blue.
amazing. That shit's amazing.
It actually canonizes Goku's backstory because technically the Bardock TV special wasn't canon, even though
Yeah.
it could be arguably better than.
It was cool we got to see that too in that movie.
It was
yeah, like,
really cool to see the
I
past.
think it's just I don't know. I think it's the best Dragon Ball movie of all time. I mean, it just goes
I can go
from
there.
Yeah.
I can
The-
see that, man.
it goes
Yeah.
from when Frieza shows up on Vegeta all the way till now. So
It has everything in it. Like
And
you would want.
it is, and it's
And a
funny.
Crazy last fight.
Oh yeah,
I
dude, the
told
whole
you,
last fight is just like
just watched
animation
that shit.
porn. Like it is just.
You didn't go with us?
Wait, what's that?
We all went together, right?
We
Yeah.
went to go
Yeah.
see it together, and it was sold out.
It was sold out. Yeah.
I saw it in theaters with somebody.
I did
I
not
don't
see
know
it in
who.
theaters. I couldn't.
I
I
went
saw
with-
it in theaters.
Then we went
you
back.
guys
Because I
must have
remember
seen-
whenever the seeing the fucking universe shatter when they punched
Yeah,
you.
yeah,
I
Vernon
didn't.
went
I didn't
back.
get to watch
Damn.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We went with.
was
It was
cool
me,
theaters.
you. It was me, Wyatt, Alex, and Cody. We all went, and it was sold out. And we went to like I think we did something else, but
I remember
Yeah.
what we did.
you guys
But
must have
yeah,
went back because I couldn't
I must
go
have
the
went
next
back
day.
with Vernon the next day because I specifically remember watching
Yeah.
it.
I remember
I
watching
watched
Battle
it.
of the
I already
Gods
watched it in
with you guys, too.
Japanese before I even
Yeah.
before we watched it here. But no, it's just an incredible movie. And I mean, I'm putting it that high up on my list just because I love Dragon Ball that much. But I don't know, it's a good freaking movie. So
Oh
Good
yeah,
movie.
I agree with you.
Creeping down. All right, Wyatt,
Right.
your
Yeah,
turn.
third. I have Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas.
Great
That's
Hell
my, one
yeah.
of my
Oh,
top third favorite
I don't even
movie
know
of all
anything
time.
about this. So yeah,
I
Fear
haven't
and Loathing in
even
Las
thought about
Vegas
that.
is based off of the book Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas by Hunter S. Thompson. It is a very exaggerated true story of him going to Las Vegas to write to cover a motocross rally that's going on in the middle of the desert outside of Las Vegas, and he barely even does that. So I mean, it's the whole
does
movie.
he do that?
He does do that, and it's a very quick scene because it's not even like what the movie's about. It's just him
No.
going to Las Vegas and just pretty much doing every drug imaginable with his lawyer, and then he's just trying to get out on the hotel bills. It's just like an acid trip of a movie. It's kind of like how Evil Dead is like an acid trip of a horror movie. This is just an acid trip of a movie in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's got great music in it. Johnny Depp gives the performance of Hunter S. Thompson great. He followed him around for like a full year just to kind of get his mannerisms and how he talks down.
He did it so well. He did it again in another Hunter S. Thompson film.
And Benicio del Toro is great as his lawyer. But I think it's great, man. And there's different parts of it where it kind of settles down, and there's a little bit of commentary about like the world that was happening at the time, because it's set in like the early 70s, like late 60s, early 70s. So there's a little bit of social commentary like in the middle of it, but like overall it's a great movie, man. I definitely recommend it. It's definitely not for everybody. I understand that. Because it gets wild with the drug use. Like the movie opens up with them flying through the desert in a convertible on acid and shit, seeing bats flying around the car,
picking up Spider-Man,
and like snorting coke out of a briefcase and stuff. And then they
open that briefcase.
He opens the briefcase and like coke flies out, and he's like, "Oh!" And they pick up the hitchhiker Tobey Maguire.
I was gonna say, I was fucking young ass Tobey Maguire. I didn't know what you meant by Spider-Man at first. I was like, Spider-Man.
Yeah, super young Tobey Maguire.
It looks like the crazy. I don't know. He just looks so wild being that young in this movie, man. It's
I mean, I love the movie. I think it's hilarious. It's great. I still watch it. I definitely highly recommend it. It's definitely not for everybody though. So I understand people's concerns or opinions about it.
It's a wild movie.
It is wild.
I gotta say, and with it is I love the noir style where people narrate to me, and that's a great movie where like he's constantly like talking over what's happening
because he's constantly in his head.
Yeah, I think about his eyes racing back and forth and him just talking, like his mouth closed, but he's got like a cigarette in his mouth. Like,
yeah, because he always has like
going on right now.
The cigarette holder in it, and there's always like a broken cigarette in it, or it's like chill it halfway. But like what you're saying, he's narrating, especially in the beginning when they're in the convertible. He's narrating, and as he's narrating, he's moving his mouth, like kind of murmuring to himself. And then at the point it stops, he's like, "Jesus, did I think that, or did I say it?" And he's like, and then he's like, "Did they hear me?" And then, like he's just like being paranoid at like if they heard him in the car. But like I don't know, words can't really describe what Fear and Loathing is. You kind of have to see it because
it's an experience.
It's an experience if you watch it. It's everywhere.
I guess
quick,
my turn.
Alex, real quick before you go, I just want to say we only have 8 movies left, and we have not had a single overlap. I think that's impressive.
That's very impressive
so far.
And I know Wyatt might have one of my last ones, but
there's two big ones coming up here.
It won't be the same one, I think, with me and Wyatt.
All right.
But I'll go. Vernon knew this was coming. Pitch Black, which is the Riddick series.
Bro, I was waiting.
Now, we preface this list with this is our favorite, not whether I don't think Pitch Black is a great movie in any way of the circumstance. It's not an upper echelon movie.
Yeah.
But it introduces one of the coolest sci-fi characters in Richard B. Riddick. And like, I love the movie. It is a good movie, don't get me wrong, but like, man, Riddick is a fucking badass, dude. Like, he's just cool, and he's just so cool, you know.
That's how I felt about like George Clooney and Dust to Dawn. He's a cool fucking character. He's like, that's a cool character,
fucking dude. Just like you were speaking of Fear and Loathing, like I could see why some people wouldn't like Pitch Black. Like I could see that. All the movies in the film franchise, probably the third one's the most digestible. Like I could see it, but to me, man, I remember watching it and just being like, and this was before I even saw like Fast and the Furious and stuff, and I was just like, man, that dude is fucking cool. like, oh, he was.
Man, you're making me, even after however long we've known each other, all these years, your speech right here is making me want to fucking watch this fucking movie.
Dude, he is. Like, he's super fucking cool. Like,
and
everybody knows who Riddick is. He's like the butcher.
Yeah, badass. And then like this game came out, and it was like a game based on like the movie was set before. You know, video games back then, like based on movies, they were all trash. Nope, this video game was fucking awesome. Like you were such a badass in it, dude. Had like exhibit in it and shit. Like it was dope, man. Like so Pitch Black goes on there for literally creating one of my favorite sci-fi characters of all time. I think Richard B. Riddick is awesome.
That's awesome, man.
Dope.
Vern?
Vern, have you seen it? No. Vern, I mean, Evan, have you seen it? Can I mark it down?
No.
It's a good alien film.
I'm a fucking
alien
watch it
film.
eventually. Okay.
It's a monster feature. You guys know I love me a monster feature, and that's basically what Pitch Black is. It's a monster. It's a monster feature. It's just about creatures. Anyways,
okay. So
final two here.
Second to last tier, and like we said, this isn't necessarily a particular order, but this is just down here. The second one I got, The Mummy Returns.
Okay. Oh, okay.
It's a good film. But, even with that ending.
Love that shit from start to finish. That shit is badass, and it's got that sexy like scene with the two when they're like fighting each other with Evie and man, the whole movie. And then you got Imhotep doing all the crazy powers and just amazing. Isn't that the movie where he's like, "You're on the wrong side of the river"? Or is that the first one?
Yeah,
okay,
I just recently watched the first one here in October.
I love that fucking second one. The second one's got the kid in it. You know what I mean?
The second one has The Rock.
The Rock is Scorpion King.
Terrible.
Yeah.
That is guy where he's like the actual scorpion.
That is some of the worst. And like I watched this show called VFX Artists or whatever it's called. I forget it. And they talk about how, even for the time, how fucking terrible.
Can I just say I've never seen this movie, and I know how bad the CGI is because I've heard how bad the CGI is.
No,
like you
the
said,
crazy thing is the CGI is good in that movie. Like all the Imhotep parts, the mummies, the power he comes, the sand, and it's like the mouth. Like that's all cool.
But they spent all their money on that. They had no money left for the Rock.
But
awful.
It is
like,
pretty.
how are we gonna do
I've
this?
heard of it. Like, I've heard how bad that is. I think I've seen it too. If I'm remembering it right, like
he just like comes out, doesn't even look like he's there. He just looks like a PS1 graphic.
He does for real.
In a fucking Hollywood movie, in a sequel.
In a a huge budgeted sequel. The first one was a smash success.
Fucking A. They did Dwayne dirty, but I love that fucking movie, man.
It is a good movie. I would say the first one's my
kick-ass soundtrack too. I stand alone.
And the movie that they spawned off at the Scorpion King with the Rock, it ain't that bad. I mean, it's not great or anything.
I don't remember.
I have seen the fourth Mummy too, the one with Brendan Fraser coming back. That one's all right.
The third? Isn't there only three of them? There's a fourth one. What? No. No.
You ain't never seen the fourth Mummy?
I knew there was a third one. I didn't see
the third one's with Jet Li, right? And then what's the fourth one?
Hold up.
Tom Cruise, right?
No, that's the fifth one.
That's the.
Oh shit! When I type in the Mummy 4 on Google, there's pictures of Tom Cruise and Brendan Fraser. I don't know who to believe.
What is it? What am I?
It's called The Mummy: Tomb of the Dragon Emperor.
I thought that was the third one.
That's the third one.
I thought the Scorpion King was the third one.
No, that's the second one.
No, the second one's called The Mummy Returns.
Well, I don't know if the Scorpion King's an actual sequel. I think it's just
you're talking like... Yeah, The Mummy Returns is the Scorpion King.
Oh, that's the first one.
Yes, it is.
The Scorpion King's a prequel.
No, the Scorpion King is not in the Mummy movies because the Mummy's not in it. But the Mummy Returns, where the Scorpion King comes out, is the second one.
Yeah, that was the second one. But he was saying, like, counting the Scorpion King spinoff as a...
Oh, see, I didn't really think about it as...
Then there is 1, 2, 3, 4... There's 5 Scorpion Kings.
No, but you're right,
Scorpion King movies, and there are Mummy movies.
You're right, though. I didn't think about it as, like, being its own franchise. Like Hobbs and Shaw.
Exactly. It's
Okay, then never mind.
It has nothing to do with the Mummy.
And that Emperor one is definitely the Mummy 3 then.
Yeah, they're like in the snowy Himalayas and shit.
Yeah, I didn't see that one.
Remember. I think I've only seen it once or twice, but I did watch the Tom Cruise one too. But I've definitely only seen that one
either.
That was bad. The Russell Crowe parts are pretty cool though, because he's he's Mr. Hyde, Dr. Jekyll.
Yeah, I know about it. I just haven't seen.
There's a few select cool scenes in it, but it is bad.
Yeah, for sure.
Mummies are good though. We started this list and talked about movies we own. I own the Mummy trilogy. I own all 3 of them. I do love those movies. I would again pick the first one. I think the first one's great. Like,
I definitely think the first one's the best.
The chick who plays Brendan Fraser's wife is
Evie.
Oh god.
Oh yeah.
Just smart.
Joshua when I was a little kid.
Got like dark. Oh. Mm.
Like Catherine Zeta-Jones, same thing with her. I was like, she was in the Zorro movie that I liked when I was younger with like Antonio Banderas.
Yeah.
Evan, you're next here.
Zorro movie.
My number 2 is Forrest Gump.
I
movie.
thought about putting that in the top 10, man. That's
I
a
was
great
afraid
fucking
that
movie,
someone
too.
else was gonna have
Great
it.
soundtrack.
I don't know, man. I just feel like I don't know. There's just I feel like anyone that watches it just likes it. Like it's just such a good movie.
Exactly. I think that could be a masterpiece as well. Like it's perfect. It's a perfect movie.
I literally wrote arguably the perfect movie. Like that's what I wrote on my paper. Like it's just one of those movies you can just jump in at any time and be like, I'm gonna watch this. Like,
and it's quotable as hell too.
I think it took me like 5 years of watching the movie where I knew the entire plot before I watched the entirety of it. Because it was just one of those movies that's always on and I watched it so much. And then like one day it just happened to be like I watched the whole thing. But I already seen
such a
the
great
whole
story too.
It's just
how they incorporated Forrest throughout history.
It takes you through America from like the 50s to the 90s, and I don't know, it takes you through with the music, you get the setting. Forrest is just you just love Forrest.
They had me invest in some kind of Apple company.
Yeah.
Oh, shit.
He just gets rich. He sends all that money to Bubba's family, and his mom just passes out.
Like, I don't know. It's just I don't even have to say anything, honestly.
Yeah.
Tom Hanks is such a good like dude for like to be that lovable character too.
Yeah.
Scub too. Like Tom Hanks is great at that. Yeah, exactly.
I got 2 Tom Hanks on my list. I just realized.
You do?
Yeah, Toy Story. I just watched The Burbs this past weekend. I don't know if you ever watched The Burbs.
Great movie.
Funny ass movie too.
Funny ass movie.
Me and Annette watched that one.
That's so funny.
We watched it on Halloween.
That's it.
Yeah.
Forrest Gump.
My second to last here, man. Classic. I know everybody's got to see this one. Jurassic Park.
Okay. You can mark Jurassic Park down now.
Yeah, Evan.
It took me like an hour to get one more movie.
Evan, you only need 3 more, and we have 4 more.
4 more. I need to hit
4 more.
Yeah, because you have.
No, you don't count. 3 more.
You have one.
Yeah,
okay, so
more.
I need to hit.
You need to hit on all 3 of our last.
Anyways, go ahead, Wyatt. Sorry.
But much like Jaws, Steven Spielberg does it again. I think Jurassic Park is a perfect movie, like all around. It's tight. CGI for the time is amazing, and it's mixed with it's still amazing. It's mixed with practical effects with Stan Winston, legendary effects artist. Great story, great characters. Like the casting in it's fucking amazing. Like Sam Neill, and then of course Jeff Goldblum. And then I forget his name. What's his dude who played Hammond?
I don't know.
I'm blanking on his name, but he was fantastic as well. But so many classic scenes, man. And I still get like chills whenever that T-Rex scene comes out. It's still scary. Like as a kid, it was scary, man. And it's still like, man, like imagine that as like being in that position. That'd be terrifying, man.
Hammond's a douche.
Hammond is spare no expense.
Yeah, dude. This dude's like, hey, I'm going to open this very dangerous park. And like, all right, we're going to figure out if it's safe. I'm going to bring my 2 grandkids with me, too. Like, let's go figure out if it's safe, Fuck you, man.
Did you guys see that article that, I think it was Quentin that shared? It was like they found a dinosaur with an embryo in it.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Someone replied to it with a gif of Dr. Who was like, how about no? Like, we know how this happens.
Jurassic Park is so good. Like, we've even already in this conversation have talked about it when we were talking about the thing. Like, it is a groundbreaking, revolutionary, like, effect movie,
Oh, yeah, for sure, man.
Great movie.
For sure. And I mean, so many great scenes, so many, like, great lines. I mean, you got Samuel L. Jackson in there, too. You got Douche Newman from Seinfeld. The bad guy turns off the power, but he gets his Dilophosaurus in the car. But great movie, man. And the legendary scene with the T-Rex breakout is going down in history as well. It's fantastic.
Sure. Absolutely. Classic movie, and also spawned a great franchise too. I think it's really only got one that I would consider like a dud. Everything, all the rest of them are good.
Yeah.
I think 3's the only one I'm like, but like Lost World's good. I think the reboot with Chris Pratt was good. I think even the second one was pretty good. All pretty good movies.
Yeah, they've mostly been solid for the most part.
I mean, it's dinosaurs. How you fuck up dinosaurs?
I mean, they're the ones that got the dinosaur like market right now. You ain't seeing any big budget dinosaur movies other than Jurassic Park.
The Jurassic fucking Park. Motherfucking T-Rex.
But yeah, it's
you've seen the
legendary
TV
movie.
show Dinosaurs, right?
And that's like, if Quentin was here, he can attest, because me and Quentin would quote Jurassic Park among other movies all the time to each other. Like I like Dumb and Dumber. I pretty much know Jurassic Park the whole way through.
Yeah, remember it was like one of the earlier podcast episodes. You were like, it was like this faint, like little white noise. You're like, is someone watching Jurassic Park?
Exactly.
And Alex is like, she is watching Jurassic.
No Jurassic Park, dude. I've seen it probably over 100 times at this point.
He's like, yeah, that's the intro to Jurassic Park.
It is a great, great, great movie. I do remember that though.
Yeah,
it was like one of the first ones.
Funny.
Like it was like an inaudible noise to me. Like I could not hear it in my headphones. And why it's just like someone's watching Jurassic Park.
Shoot her!
Oh man!
All
right,
the
Alex.
final one.
I need
Last
some help
movie
here.
on list.
So give me a good one.
Evan, I think I'm gonna spoil it for you already, but
Yeah, it's fine.
I know we said no order, but this might be my favorite movie of all time, and that's a hard one.
I saved mine for last as well.
Yeah, you guys know mine, so
I
it's
did
whatever.
it. Like I said,
I didn't, and again, you ask me tomorrow, it might change, but we're coming off the Halloween season, you know. Aliens, the sequel, Aliens, not Alien, is not only one of my favorite movies, I think it's one of the most perfect movies. I think the pacing in it, I think the way it upped the first one, I think it's an action movie, a horror movie, I think it's funny, I think like the suspense of it, the effects, everything.
Got a bigger budget, like everything about it.
I think this movie was literally like them just being like, we can do this way better. They just like up the ante like a millionfold. And Ripley is one of the greatest movie characters of all time. She's just badass woman who just doesn't take no shit, you know.
That shit is amazing.
The Alien Queen, great. Like the aliens are, we talked about them just like 2 podcasts ago, you know. It's one of the scariest creature designs to ever grace the screen, you know. Like
that's made me want to watch the franchise just because of that, like just knowing that like it's terrifying. Like
it's terrifying.
Dude, I don't even know how you would cope with that.
Where and
fantastic.
Like the first one, and I saw the second one first, to be honest, everybody. But the first one, and it is a fantastic film in its own right, but it's a slow burn. It's a slasher film. It's one alien. It's dark all the time. It's just him chasing. This
first one's
like,
my favorite,
and it's a great film. Yeah. I totally get the.
I love the series, and I love the second one. But yeah, that first one kind of leans more my direction. Yeah. And that second one. The
second one, she's just got like a fucking 2 guns taped together, dude. So she's like shooting, and you can just like switch and shoot it. It's like 2 taped together, like bad. Oh yeah, she got the flamethrower taped to the bottom of it. Like, it's such a introduce the smart gun. The smart gun noise that like it makes like is so iconic to me.
I can hear I'm thinking about it right now.
The game over, man. Like it's just quotable.
Yeah, get out of here, you bitch.
You bitch, get out of here, bitch. Nope. Fantastic.
Classic.
It might be my favorite film. But Evan, I'm gonna guess you're out, right?
No, I have not.
Out.
How many am I up to? What am I up to?
You had 3 to go.
Damn.
So out of 8, you did.
Wait, was that counting Jurassic Park?
Yeah. Okay.
Okay. All right.
Anyway, my movie, like I said, this isn't my favorite movie of all time. I don't even know necessarily if it's my favorite this movie, but I got another Marvel movie here. Okay. Civil War. That shit is incredible start to finish.
I've seen Civil War.
All right, we're down to 2.
I think I went to theaters with you guys with that, didn't I? No, wait.
I don't remember.
Iron Man vs. Captain America?
Yeah, I went and saw that with you guys.
And they whoop each other's ass at the end because Bucky killed Tony's parents. Like, the whole plot of that shit's amazing because, like, Zemo is the villain and he's, like, just this dude. You know what I mean? But he's, like, pulling the strings. And, like, it's like Avengers 2.5 to me. You know what I mean? Because it's got fucking 20 characters in it. You know what I mean? I don't know how many, but, like, that shit is amazing. It was a perfect thing to, like, get from Age of Ultron transition into, if you look at like the Avengers movies as their own franchise as a whole, one Age of Ultron, that should fit in there. That's a very critical movie. Like if anybody's watching the MCU and doesn't want to watch every single movie, you need to watch Civil War. That shit phenomenal, man. That airport battle.
Now we talked with I Am Legend about how I didn't like it because it was so much different than the book. And again, I read the comics, but here's the thing: it's not the same at all. I mean, same key points, but the fact that Marvel could shorten this huge story into this 2-hour movie and it still be like as compelling and as good. I mean, they changed the stakes in it and stuff, but still
it's changed like pretty much everything.
They changed, but they kept like the core of it,
right?
Like they kept it into a movie. Hats off to them again. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies.
Yeah, I love the introduction of Spider-Man into the MCU. Was one of the biggest moments. If you're a fan of the MCU, you were like, holy shit, I thought this was never gonna happen, and then boom, Spider-Man's in the trailer. You know what I mean? You're like, oh shit.
I know you said the airport scene, but my favorite fight scene is Bucky Barnes, Captain America versus Iron Man, and they're tossing the shield back and forth.
Yeah,
that's my favorite too.
And it pans out, and it's like they're in between the slots. I fucking love that.
They do that like laser beam shit.
Yeah, and they're just like tossing the shield back and forth. Very
so
similar. Maybe they got it from Abe Lincoln Vampire Hunter when they were tossing the
the act.
Maybe they took that. Yeah,
Anthony Mackie.
He's in it. Anthony Mackie's like, hey, I got an idea.
Go watch the Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter review on our channel.
But I think that's definitely like one of my favorites. If I was ever to be like, that's tough to say. I was gonna say like if I was ever to somebody, there's one MCU movie to watch Civil War, but you wouldn't really understand it, But it's
I didn't understand shit. I don't remember anything, but I remember watching it.
I think mine would either be Guardians. Like if they had to watch it in a bubble, it'd either be Guardians or Captain America: Winter Soldier. Nah, mine would be Guardians or Winter Soldier.
Well, Winter Soldier is a very good spy movie, but it's got a lot of like. I guess it's the first one in the future, but I would say the first Iron Man is probably one of the most easily digestible movies start to finish for anybody.
That's why I would say Guardians. Guardians, you don't need to know anything about anything else, and Guardians is fine. You can just jump into it.
Standalone movie.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
All right, Evan.
My number one's Titanic. Titanic, dude. It is a compelling movie. It is historically accurate, minus like the character names, like whatever. Like not the character names, but like the love story part of it. That's its own thing.
It's
but, like,
historically inspired. Let's say.
No, but like I mean the parts about the Titanic, like how it sank. Like they literally explain everything. Like they went
from
down
what I've read,
the ocean to film it for this movie. Like
from what I've read, also they've also like. Did astronomy analysis and they like pinpointed how the stars were in the night that night. Apparently, I don't know how they did it.
But
I saw something about that. Like James Cameron was like obsessed
with the Titanic. So like
he's obsessed with the ocean.
Yeah.
Secondly, that's the second James Cameron film too. Aliens, James Cameron.
Yeah.
I was gonna mention. Whatever it got to my I'm surprised no one mentioned like T2, Terminator 2, man. That's a fucking perfect movie too. It's classic.
I agree. It's not it would be in the same vein as Aliens to me, but it's not quite at that level. But I agree. It's another James Cameron.
Yeah. But yeah, like the soundtrack, it's its own compelling soundtrack. I mean, and I don't know. I feel like it's got everything. It's a drama, it's action, it's suspenseful, it's funny. I just love how like it goes from like this sappy love story, and as soon as the iceberg hits, it just flips a switch, and it's like, nope, not a love story anymore. Everyone's about
survival
to die.
movie.
Like, there are like 2,000 people in this boat, and you get to see like 100 of them survive. Like that's crazy. I don't know.
Billy Zane plays such a good bad guy.
Billy Zane is wild in the movie, dude.
Love Billy Zane.
He is like he's a terrible guy, terrible, but
she's kind of a terrible person.
He saves that little girl though.
Yeah, he saves that little girl for himself.
One of the things I remember the most
Rose
about
is a terrible
movie,
person too.
She is.
So
let's not act like she's not in the fault at some way.
She tries to kill herself.
That I remember
that starts off the whole thing.
This fucking movie, when I was a little kid, my parents had it on 2 VHS.
Yeah.
VHS
Yeah, I
tapes.
remember it.
Like
Too.
Yeah.
that's how it fucking came in the box. That's how long
Everyone
that fucking
remembers
movie
that
Oh.
2 VHS.
That's how Scarface was too.
thing.
Scarface had 2 tapes.
was.
Yeah.
I was just like, man,
Scarface
I
is
ain't
so
watching
long.
a movie that fucking long. I remember thinking that as a little kid. I've seen it by this point, but I remember being a little kid just like, there ain't no way I'm watching
It
that
is like
movie.
2 movies though. It's like before the iceberg and after the iceberg. Like it's
Yeah, it's
split like
crazy.
right at
Two-parter.
that. And I don't know, man. Like it's just got everything, and I love it. It is just a compelling story that I
Leonardo
love.
DiCaprio is the only good character in that movie.
Yeah,
And
he
he
just won
dies.
that. He won the tickets in like a poker game and just
Yeah.
went.
Rose is a bitch, man. I'm telling you. She doesn't want to. She like basically cheats on that dude.
Well, she
2,
does.
There's plenty of room on that fucking door. She's like, no, I'd be uncomfortable.
Yeah,
Like,
I'm pretty sure Mythbusters did that. Like they
Yeah,
proved
dude.
that
Yeah.
they could have fit him on there.
they'd have been fine, man. I know how weight works. You'd have been great. You know, you could have took turns
They
or
could have
something.
kept each other
You know,
warm.
That
Yeah.
This dude knew where the stars were in the sky at that night, but he didn't know that 2 people couldn't fit on that. Like, you
Well,
know
they
what I
could have
mean?
just
Like,
made the door
You
smaller.
needed to have
you know,
the.
like,
You need to have
Yeah.
like the crying point. You need to have the main character die.
I
Listen.
understand, but the slip up of having the door in the movie be factually big enough to hold.
yeah,
Yeah.
like they
It's
should have
not-
made it smaller.
James
like half
Cameron's
the
like,
door.
damn,
Like,
I'm never
It's
gonna hear
not
the end
because
of
of the
this.
factual. It's because Rose was a bitch. That's
Yeah.
why. He's trying
He's
to
like,
put.
I just wanted to show how selfish that Rose was in the end. You know.
And then I think I brought
And
it
then,
up.
and then he doubled down on it when they go back to the present, and she
Yeah.
just takes it and
Oh,
throws it into the
she's
ocean.
just like-
Throws it into the fucking ocean.
And
Bill
she's talking
Paxton's
about,
like, "Bitch, I flew you all the way out here to find
like,
this." Like,
so here's the thing. Like
uh,
the thing about that is I don't know what gives him the right to that. Like why he thinks like he's gonna fly her out and she has it on her. Like it's not like she's just gonna give it to him. Like
go get it, bitch.
yeah.
he's like, "This is historically, like, he's
No,
gonna use
like it's
the-
her diamond of all
It doesn't even
things.
stop there, guys.
That's why
She's
he
been
pushes her off
talking.
the boat. It takes a.
She has kids and a husband that she's been with for 80
That is
odd
so
years.
true though. Yeah, you're right.
And she's just like, I'm gonna meet Jack. Like, bitch, you had a husband who took care of you for 80 fucking years. And
Oh,
like,
she's still
that
thinking
dude's
about
nothing.
Jack.
And in the
Yeah,
afterlife.
like nothing. She gonna go
Man.
to if she go to heaven, she's not gonna chill with her husband. She gonna go
Yeah.
straight to Jack.
this
He's-
dude
her
chilling,
husband's
like,
gonna be
where
like, "What the fuck is
Rose
this?"
at?
He's
you-
like waiting, like
You knew that
Yeah.
dude for like 2 days.
For like 2 fucking days.
That shit's fucked, man.
that
Fuck,
is-
man.
You kept
Just
that
shut
thing.
fuck. Rose is a
Come on.
bitch.
Yeah,
That shit's
Rose is the
fucked.
bad guy.
You know,
like how
also-
you guys say how Jenny's the bad guy in Forrest Gump.
Exactly.
Rose is the bad guy in
Like,
Titanic.
who-
Billy Zane had every right to be mad.
Billy Zane had every right to be mad.
fiance.
Fiance. All right, Wyatt.
Pistol he's running around with.
We're getting a
Oh,
little
you already
long-winded.
know what my number 1 is, bro.
Yeah.
Halloween,
I've seen it.
1978.
That gives me
I'm
7,
saying-
right?
Yeah.
If
give
we're
me
You're
rounding
almost
down, I've gotten
30%.
25%.
You only had one to go. You were
But
close.
yeah,
You almost
already-
made that.
It was 7.5, okay? And I've seen half
Yeah.
of most of these movies. I just never sat and watched the whole
All
thing.
right, you know what? I'll give that. He's right. He's like seen a bunch of
I
scenes
did
from a
it.
lot of these.
So is that the
Anyway.
over?
But yeah, that's the last one. I mean, if anybody's ever
Eat
watched
it.
any
Eat
videos
it.
on this channel, you know Halloween's my favorite
I
movie
knew
of all
why it
time.
would come through with me. in the
Favorite,
end.
not even just scary movie. It's one of my favorite movies of all time. Classic, John Carpenter's masterpiece. Michael Myers, one of the top slashers out there. Like the way it's shot, the way that it's very menacing, and the atmosphere is great in it. The music is fantastic.
That music,
Really,
man.
no
So
like
iconic.
blood really in the movie. It's not gory or anything.
Not
It
gory at all.
really the scares come from suspense the
Yeah.
whole
Yeah.
time.
It's another movie we talked about the thing about how I like the background of it. Halloween's another one where I love to watch how they made it because it was on such a
There's
shoestring
a
budget.
thing on Netflix
Yeah.
right now, I think. That's on.
Oh yeah,
I
the
haven't
movies
seen it.
that
Brittany
I
said she
just
watched
watched it.
Yeah,
I just
it
watched
did
the
tell me
movies that made
about
us.
She said it was
Um,
great. Like, it's interesting.
It was great, man.
Like,
Super
Yeah.
interesting.
It is very interesting, man, and just how they were able to make that on a shoestring budget, like you were saying, and to have it the status that it is today in the horror community, it's crazy how they did it, and the characters feel so real, the setting feels real. You feel like you're in that town following like real
Mhm.
characters for that hour and a half. And Donald Pleasance is amazing as Dr. Loomis, man.
Yeah, that movie. Oh, behind the scene things. I have Donald Pleasance. Apparently, he was drunk like a lot of that movie. And,
Really?
like,
I didn't
filming
know
and
that.
stuff. Watch the thing. Apparently, he was like, especially that scene where they're driving and he's talking to the nurse about Michael Myers. And apparently, like, he was slurring his words, and like Carpenter was pissed at him, and he was like, "What are you doing?" And Donald Pleasance was like, "Nobody's even gonna watch this movie, dude. Like, what are you talking about? You know?"
Wasn't the budget only like 100,000 or something?
I think it was 300,000.
300,000, yeah, and it made like 70 million or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah,
They
it
made
was something.
something ridiculous, dude.
But that movie will be watched 50 years from now solely because it's called Halloween. People will still watch it on Halloween because it's called Halloween 50 years from now.
Yeah, and there's people that have never seen the movie, don't maybe not know what it is, and they know the music. They know
They know Michael Myers. You know,
They
On
may know Michael
Halloween,
Myers.
They were playing Halloween music throughout the warehouse, and I heard the freaking Halloween song 3 times in like different sounds, like different iterations of it. But they played that shit like 3 different times. Like it's synonymous now with Halloween. Like, you just cannot go Halloween without Michael Myers in the Halloween franchise.
And it really kickstarted the slasher movement going into the 80s there.
I mean, Friday the 13th straight up said, "Yeah, we watched that Halloween movie, and we just said we're going to do that."
Like, they wanted to capitalize it, so let's just do that.
Seriously said that in like the behind the scenes things on the Blu-rays. They were like, "Yeah, we saw that. We just wanted to do that." Like,
wanted to do that with blood.
And they were the first ones to really capitalize on it, and it stuck. And that's why it worked.
Oh yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, Halloween, that's my favorite one. That's our top 10 favorite movies of all time. Like Alex said before, though, I mean, this could change. Like, I would say 5 of these are staying on this list for me. The other ones are probably could change, but like Jaws, Jurassic Park, Halloween, Fear and Loathing, probably they're all staying. Blues Brothers.
You talked about Evil Dead 2. I watch Evil Dead every year of my life, and I didn't even put it on here. And but if you'd asked me at the beginning of October, right before I watched it, I'd have probably had it on there. Like, oh, I can't wait to watch Evil Dead again. You know?
Yeah, I probably would have thrown The Shining on it too at some point. I love The Shining.
Hundreds more movies. Hopefully, we can keep talking about these.
Definitely.
I would like to maybe sometime, maybe not next one. I'd like to go through maybe like the top 15 movies. Let's go to like IMDb or something. And like, I'd be curious how much of us have seen them. And because Evan, really, man,
so to tell you the truth, I was scouring places just to try to trigger my memory. Because like I said, I don't watch that many movies. So I was trying to I know I'm missing movies in my brain here. Like I know there's movies.
Oh,
I
yeah, me
think
too.
about it. So I was scouring like the top 250 IMDb movies. And a lot of them are like critically acclaimed movies, not necessarily like popular movies, but I know some of them. Like I think The Godfather was like number 1, if I'm not mistaken.
I've never seen it.
I love The Godfather.
Maybe it was The Godfather too.
I wouldn't put it in my top 10 of my favorite, but it is a fantastic movie and storytelling.
We've talked about this. Citizen Kane's considered one of the greatest films of all time.
Okay, number 1 was The Shawshank Redemption,
which is a great film.
Number 2 and 3 are The Godfathers Part 1 and 2. The Dark Knight is number 4.
We're not. I told you, Evan. I fucking told you. It's one of the greatest films of all time. I
disagree with you. I know it's a good movie.
Here's though where I start taking issues. I think in a couple more, Black Panther is going to be on there, and I'm not saying Black Panther isn't a great film, but ain't no fucking way it's considered one of the 5th or 6th best films of all time.
Forrest Gump's number 12. Let me see.
Like it's like a Power Rangers fight in the end of it. Like no.
Vernon, Interstellar is 27.
Good.
Oh, yeah.
Spirited Away is 28.
Spirited Away is great.
I want to watch that actually.
Movies are really good.
I own that too, Evan. If you want to borrow it.
If I can't find it streaming, I might, because I really do want to watch that.
Are Studio Ghibli's on Disney? I don't know.
They're on HBO Max.
Oh, they're on HBO Max.
I have HBO Max.
All of them, yeah. We watched
I do not see Black Panther.
I'm waving flag, guys. We gotta wrap it up and get off.
Oh yeah, dude, it's freaking late. We gotta get off here. But
so wrap it up or I'm off.
All right. Yeah. Thanks for watching, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed. This was a long one, but it was a fun one. Be sure to hit the like button, subscribe, follow us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, all the other stuff. Goodbye. Bye.
Bye.